Yo, Flurves, how are you guys doing this evening? I hope you're all doing well. It's good to have you guys all here. Sorry we started so late. Uh, as you know, South Africa just doesn't have power these days. But anyway, it's good to have you guys here. I really, really appreciate you guys all waiting for me. So, we have a full panel tonight on Element. It's good to see you guys. We have Michael Kahn, which I'm surprised is still awake. Neil Constantino,
Only just.
NW Dude, PJ Cruikshank, the Adam Meekin, and the Hammer. Are you guys doing well?
We're doing good. We're doing good. And I'm surprised that Michael's still awake, actually, to be honest.
But it's good to have you guys aboard. Yeah, because tonight, I think before we start the show, Adam said, yeah, he'll never watch it alone, so he needs to watch it with people. And I 100% agree with him. Because, to be honest, I didn't watch the whole thing through. I watched maybe the first 20 minutes or something, and I got so disgusted I ended up getting triggered and leaving it, watching the rest. So,
I haven't watched any at all whatsoever. I've kind of got the same. I was going to watch it, but then I thought I'm going to watch it off the show. But then after what I heard what Adam said, I like that excuse better.
Thank you, PJ.
But I mean, it's quite interesting. The poll I got up with 37 votes. Was the docu any good? And 81% say no. That's quite telling. One thing I do have to give props to Hebler Productions. They do make very cinematic type of productions. So it is good. It's cinematic. But they should check the information they present and the type of people they use to present the information. That's one thing I would let them consider to maybe rethink. Yeah, because they definitely push a false narrative of flat Earth, guys. So that's one thing that we got to check out. Other than that, yeah, we'll see what is going on. And I'm just going to say hi to everybody in chat. It's good to see you. I see PJ's there, yeah. Jeff Conkle, good to see you, mate. Alan Norstrand, hello, hello. Thank you for coming. Derek Nelson, always good to see you, mate. Titan Long, thank you for coming. Paul, hello, hello. SI Man, thank you for joining us. Carl Appel, thank you for coming. Jeff Gassett and Travis Fritz. Travis Fritz says, love the intro. I'm glad you love the intro, mate. Thank you guys for coming. So any thoughts, panel, before we start this presentation?
I don't even know what to expect. I haven't got a clue. I've heard a little bit of what Michael and I said, but I haven't got a clue what to expect, really.
I thought I'll take a look this morning. I were up early, so I thought I'll just have a look. So I watched about 45 minutes worth.
Wow.
Which I'd not.
I can't believe what I've been told about it. I mean, I can't believe what they're talking about. For flat Earth people talking about this, it's not right.
It comes across as very conspiratorial, like, so there's not much flat Earth evidence in it. It's more conspiracy type things, like whether Challenger crew are alive or dead, that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Talking about extra land and aliens coming from extra land, and like not much flat Earth stuff.
That's what I bet I don't get that the flat earthers, and they're talking about aliens. I mean, the way I hear it, it's not as though it's aliens from a different land. It sounds like it's aliens from outer space. You know what I mean? It's I don't know.
That's why I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to watch it as a I don't know how many years. What year are we in? My 8-year-old flat earther, and sitting and praise and just. So I don't think I've got enjoyment. That's genuinely why I haven't watched it. I figured it will come to light enough of it.
All right, guys, time to level up. Let's go.
Yeah, go on.
No, just throw me a second.
Sorry.
But what I would say is, it's not for me to. That means I want to poo-poo it in a direct way, because this would strike me as. I think about this. I got my 13 years on Twitter badge the other day, and I think about the stuff I digested then that's led me to today. Some of the technical stuff we do on it, on Flat Earth Debate, on here, I wouldn't have been able to have grabbed me back then. And I think sometimes this, like I say, this Alex Jones level type introductory to stuff is not necessarily a bad thing per se. I know we're going to disagree with stuff. I'm not trying to say don't. I'm just saying It's not necessarily a bad thing. If we're getting it out there to a populace that have never been exposed, and as you said, with nice slick graphics, and as long as we're not pimping something else, that's my only concern. Is what I would say, that we're not trying to put another thing on top of flat Earth, another belief system, or because this isn't a belief system. There's no need to strap it on. This is about representing reality, and I hope that's what it does.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hey, Yannick, good to see you, mate. Okay, you guys ready to dive into this?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but not. But it's
I was so bummed because I downloaded the high resolution 4K version, and it took me like 2 hours, and I just can't find it. So I had to quickly find it. So I only downloaded a 360 version on YouTube again because I can't find it somewhere. So at least we got it now. So yeah, let's do this.
What now?
Okay, level with me here. There's this idea that we live on a ball and it's spinning and we're traveling through space at unfathomable speeds, yet you can't measure it, you can't repeat it or observe it. At this point, it becomes a religion. What are you holding on to? Do you care what other people think? Are you just worried what your friends and family are going to say? Is it your satellites? Is it your aliens? There are no satellites in the vacuum of space. Satellites are satelloons. You're aliens. Let's say you're an outer space alien fanatic. What if I told you can have your aliens too? That they
Wait, sorry, I have to stop it.
What?
I thought it was very contradictory. This is the millionaire, flat Earth millionaire or something. His opening statement was, "Do you care what people think of you?" That's what this guy's about.
And straight away, he's like, about what if you can have your aliens too?
And
I mean, it's not a case of
That's
what if.
weird.
It's a case of reality. There is none. What?
I think what
weird.
they're referring
Not
to
a
there
choice,
would
It's
be,
like it's not a choice, is it? Whether you can or you can't. It's just you can't. Wow.
Adam, go ahead.
is that not just other land? So just as we would think of North Americans as alien within the old world, and new land. So that, I think that's what he's saying there. You can have your aliens, people from other lands, not necessarily from another planet.
Yeah, you see,
They show a map later on though, Adam, and there's not just other lands. There's look like other worlds. It's crazy. I've never seen out like it.
Look,
Wow.
who knows what God's created? That's not to say I would testify to it, because, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Don't go beyond what we know. You're going to show like kind of concentric rings where Mars becomes a sun and Saturn becomes a sun, or you know what I mean, and make shit up. That's not going to do the flat Earth cause any good. It might be your theology, and perfectly, you're entitled to that, but I don't necessarily. That puts it, like I said, that puts it into the Alex Jones category for me, as opposed to just. But that's not what I heard there. But you've got a spoiler alert there.
Yeah, that was a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough. But
yeah, I remember, because a lot of you get flat earthers that do believe there's land beyond, and you get many people that believe there's multiple domed Earths on the same plane, kind of thing.
Really?
So yeah, you get a whole bunch of different beliefs, you can say.
Or how about that Bach saga that Crow was talking about years ago? Remember that Bach saga?
Oh yeah.
Where it starts in the middle and then it expands out, and then you get a new sun and new moon every so often in a new human species.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was interesting. But again, how do you prove that?
Exactly. A lot of the things, I mean, even like you get the X-ray moon, like the moon is just a reflection of the Earth, kind of thing, which is really weird stuff. But yeah, but I mean, like I was saying, it starts cinematically, very cool. That's Hibbler Productions. They're very good at cinematics. But listen to this guy. That opening statement was, "You care what people think of you," but that's exactly what this guy's about.
Yeah.
Flat Earth Millionaire is all about the image. Look at me, I got the money.
And I look at he's got all cars out at garage, so everybody can see his cars and that.
Yeah, he's got one or
Do
three.
you think that's a good thing to start off your documentary of truth?
I don't know.
I mean, if I'm not a flat earther and I'm new to this, and I come out and say, "Who's this guy boasting his money, saying do you only care about image? Oh, this is just a scam."
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he's in for the money. You understand? And that's exactly what I see. Yeah.
Come from outer space, not upper space, but outer space. They are extraterrestrials. Terrestrial meaning terrain, meaning land. So what is it? What's stopping you? You've never seen curvature with your own eyes. You never felt the earth spinning. You've never been able to observe and measure these claims.
Can you stop it a sec?
Yeah.
There's a point that's obviously bothered you at the beginning there. I don't know. I suppose to us British and maybe South Africans, that title is a little vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
The way I would describe it is certainly within British etiquette. You don't do that. You certainly wouldn't put that title on yourself. Maybe that's all it is. I know in America that's not necessarily the case. That's like something that isn't embarrassing.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, he obviously had his money before Effie. But like I'm saying, if you come into a arena like this and you've never heard of the Flat Earth before, and they're trying to now reach people. If I'm coming and I'm seeing, hang on, this guy's now Flat Earth millionaire, and he's showing off cars and his nice house, and he's saying you only care about image. What's the thing I'm being sold as? Oh, it's cinematic. I'm being sold Flat Earth is just a gimmick. It's a scam. They're just in it for the money. That's what I get told when I see it.
I do not disagree with that. Maybe I'm just saying maybe that. Like I used the term, I think correctly, certainly to certain sensibilities, and the difference between here and America is that title or use of it has a vulgarity to it in terms of what you present. It doesn't work the same. It has a kudos in America. You know?
I agree. Yeah.
You know, that's all I'd say, and that's maybe not necessarily. I know why am I playing such an advocacy role? Sorry, but to me, I wouldn't castigate a man. I wouldn't castigate an American for that. I would a British person. Yeah.
Oh, you wanted him back there with his nice Jag in the background.
Yeah, if you've got a British person in the Jag, welcome to Flat Earth, fucking millionaire. Yeah, like that. You kind of associate a kind of attitude with it. I don't think with Americans I would be so judgmental.
Think how good it should have been with Jeremy Clarkson in the background. Power! You know?
I think Jeremy Clarkson would be a brilliant Flat Earther, mate.
But I got nothing against this Flat Earth guy. I mean, I got nothing against it. I was just saying that's the way they present it to the new people. Opening with this puts people off. And I get this a lot still. You're just in this for the money. And I keep telling them, listen, if I wanted money, I wouldn't be a Flat Earther.
Exactly.
I totally concede that point. I would suggest the opening title should have been maybe a beautiful vista panorama, not one of him and his fleet of cars. That would have been setting the right tone. The reason we're discussing it is because it's set the wrong tone, is all I would say.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Castigate. It's just like, what we're watching. Top Gear?
Yeah.
When it becomes a religion, do you want to become free? What if there's thousands upon thousands of other continents? What if there is an actual creator? This place was designed for a purpose. This isn't an accident. Would your life change? We're all supposed to live in abundance. We're all supposed to be here for a purpose and learn and love and live. Being on a ball.
Whoa, that's also false. We're not supposed to live in abundance. That is just a.
Why not?
Why not? Where does it? Where? Who says you have to live in abundance? When you
Well,
when you enter this world, what do you enter this world with, and what do you leave this world with?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But you're not living then. If you're leaving the world, you're not living. See, and meanwhile, you're going to live. And then while you're living, you should have abundance. I'm not saying like loads of cash and tons of gold. I think he means, I think abundance isn't what he means. It isn't like excess. It just means that you should have plenty of food to eat. You should have, shelter. I don't know. That's just my opinion of that.
No, that
anyways.
I would agree with you. Should be able to live, but I mean, in abundance is
Exactly.
But like I said,
Abundance isn't 6 cars, is it?
yeah. But you see,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But it's an abundance of cars.
Yeah. I wouldn't
I
mind.
get it. So therefore, it's kind of a bad image. He's saying those words, and behind him is all these cars and a
That's
nice
the thing.
house. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I get why it could be kind of negative on the rest of the people watching this.
But you see why I like it? We can all do this together because everybody has a different view on what you're seeing at the same time. So everybody paints a different picture.
Of course.
So that's a cool thing. Just to say hi to Rachie for coming in, and Brianna Johnson, and M Stone, and Stanley Tools. Hey guys.
From an accident of a big bang, evolved from monkeys. That's no way to live. That's no way to perceive life. You're an accident. You have no purpose. What's stopping you? Look out here. There's no curvature. 120,000 feet, 30,000 feet, it's nowhere to be seen. Where's the curve?
In your imagination.
It's time to pay attention. It's time to wake up. It's time to become free.
Okay, I've seen better production with the logo for them, though, to be honest. But okay.
From who? NASA?
No, from Hibbler Productions. But
Okay.
But yeah. But like I said, they are good with their cinematics, though.
9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
On January 28, 1986, CNN watched the Challenger launch live on the air with its viewers. They and the other media outlets told you that the astronauts died in the explosion. But as always, there is an agenda behind every mainstream headline.
This morning, it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Down.
Yeah, this is one thing we get a lot of flack for as well. The Challenger disaster. When you say, yeah, you know what we say about it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Something exploded, but they weren't in it. That's the blooming sure.
But this was a fear, a thing. This was created to instill like some kind of a fear on the population.
Yeah, this is
and
emotional
then
attachment. Yeah.
Well, then it turns around and it makes them like, then we go, oh, NASA, we love you. You're my hero. That's kind of what happened from this. I think this is that years later, people are still high on NASA. They love NASA. They will never think that they can't do any wrong. That's how their attitude is right now. I think in most cases.
Yeah. I just say, hey, Godzilla37, thank you very much for your gifts on the members. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you very, very much. He's been a member for 7 months, so it's good to see you, Godzilla. And Into the Break, thank you guys for coming. Flat Sabbath as well. So and Level Up.
And to me, it's evil to do that. To like do this, and then later on, you have some suspicion. I don't know. I just find it's really evil that this happened. To wheel out the TV to all these kids. I was in high school at the time, and then boom, and then okay, wheel it back, and then then people just kind of go silent, like, oh shit.
Well,
now what?
Look at it this way. Look at this with NASA. How they were when they had the so-called Apollo missions when they started off. Everybody was into it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's all that the people were concentrating on. Is we need to go to the moon. We need to go to the moon, blah, blah, blah. After they did it, after the few Apollo missions, it started dying off. They weren't watching. They were watching soapies, looking at the news kind of thing. And then they had to create more drama, hence Apollo 13, where the 3 miraculous, how are they going to survive to come back with technical issues, So people started investing into this again because they're getting emotional attachment.
Right.
And then they saw this emotional attachment and they thought, wow, that works. Later on, What happens when you place emotional attachment to people that now die with this awesome endeavor for the space race? Why do you think you get so much triggered people when you talk about this? Say you guys are sick because you say the people weren't there. You know what I mean? It's because they created emotional attachment to them. It's just part of mind control.
It's like politics.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. But I will say though, and I have something to say, and I forgot, I think, but I just wanted to say something that, and I forgot. So you just keep going. Sorry.
No, go on.
I forgot.
No doubt.
Because one of these moments where they want you to argue about whether the plausibility of all of those people having twin brothers and sisters is real, instead of arguing about where they were sending it to, whether it was a violation, and more importantly, why do these things have to explode later on when the ratings drop? Why don't they explode on the first one? Why is it only when people lose interest that the space shuttle's taking off? This is all about mind control, and often in these cases like explosions, time for distraction with regards to other geopolitical events.
Hey, Flats.
Yeah.
I remember now. So years ago, right after the last Apollo missions, they did a survey to see what people thought about them, and 1 in 3 did not believe that we went to the moon. And this is back then. I forget how far back it was. So I think maybe the survey was done at a time, and then they decided to ramp it up again to try to get people to get back on board the NASA train. The NASA train. You don't believe in that? You don't believe in NASA? Shame on you! I mean, that's what I'm thinking might have happened personally.
Because
if you still believe it, someone went to the moon. I mean, I can understand why some people still believe in the heliocentric thing, but if they think we went to the moon still, then there's got to be something wrong there.
That's just diehard fans, though.
That's true. That's true. Some people just don't want to let it go, do they?
I mean, I know a lot of globe earthers today that never believe the moon landings to be real, and it's crazy. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. There's so much problems with it, and the main one being it violates the law of entropy. And as soon as you ask them how do you account for it, their main goal go, gravity, and they say, okay, but demonstrate it for us. Then instead of demonstrating it to us, they just call you stupid, ignorant, and sick.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Or they drop mics. Gravity. Yeah. I mean, that's what they do, and they just go, "Oh wow, something dropped. It must be gravity."
It's crazy.
Range distance 7 nautical miles.
Looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew away from the side of the shuttle in an explosion.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction. We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded.
Today is a day for mourning and remembering. Nancy and I are pained to the tragedy of the shuttle.
Yeah.
As a CNN reporter who's not trained in rocketry, rocket science or rocket surgery, who's not trained in that, and you just see those different puffs of smoke in the sky. At what point do you think you go, it looks like I've just described the actual cause of the explosion in the sky, the jettison rocket, the side chutes going off.
Yeah, but
if that doesn't smell of controlled narrative, I don't know what this has got to do with flat Earth, but it's interesting conspiracy theory wise.
Well, to hinge off of that though, I don't know if you know, before the rocket went up, the specific Challenger rocket went up, they had actual mechanics that worked on the rockets saying it's not stable, that it's not going to work. They had warnings, and yet NASA ignored it. They wanted it to understand. So it was controlled, guys. They wanted this to happen, and they were trying to place it under the rug. Because
they were special behind this launch. Like, why did they play it in schools? Because all through my school life, that was the only NASA launch I've watched in school.
Yeah,
Trauma.
And it had to be that one that blew up.
Yeah.
I think Adam asked what this has to do with flat Earth. Well, I think everything has to do with flat Earth because it's all part of this. It's all little pieces of the beast. It's all part of shaping your reality, creating a reality for you. So I think everything they do has to do with flat Earth, in my opinion, anyway.
Which bit is what I'm saying?
Like pieces like NASA and the whole. I mean, NASA and their shenanigans.
Yeah,
for example.
Let me give you a pick. I'll refine it.
Okay.
So either whether or not that was a controlled explosion, or whether or not it was, as Flatzoid suggested, that it was allowed to explode because conditions were alerted to them and they thought not, they let it go, or whether or not that thing can go into a second law of thermodynamics violation. What are we discussing? What proves flat Earth? The conspiracy as to the explosion, or where that bloody thing was claimed to, or not that one because it never got there, but where all the other things were supposed to have gone. What's the conspiracy that should be exposed? Exactly. Where should the focus be?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. I think that's the problem with all this is that we get too involved and it overwhelms a person that you're trying to talk to about this stuff. So you got to start out simple things, right? You can't start out with the Challenger as being. I mean, you could, I guess. It just depends on who you're talking to. If they love NASA, you could start, hey, how did that Challenger mission back then?
No, because like I'm saying, think about it. With the first Apollo missions, it was on every television, every radio, everywhere. And once it started dying out, everybody's watching soaps and stuff. It just wasn't really there. Then, all of a sudden, with Apollo 13, now it's all over the television again, all over the radio again, all over the newspapers again. Because they've created emotional attachment again. Then it started saying, oh no, no one's, they got to send people to the moon again. They just can't get it right, How much times can they fake it? So now they have to say, oh, now it's too dangerous. So they made sure, I mean, again, all of a sudden everybody's watching. Why this specific one? Was it live for everybody all of a sudden? The other ones weren't live.
But,
you understand?
Why would you open your documentary with this though? Because you know how much it triggers people. Like you were saying earlier, where ballers get mad, like, oh, you're saying people aren't dead when they are, and you know what I mean. So why would you start with this? Like you're gonna
hold on. It's because this is the third one. You wouldn't jump into this one. You start with the first level movie, and then you go to the next one, and then this one. That's why they're in this now, because it's not the first one.
Yeah, but
it's part 3, right? So.
But yeah, I would have had started with this though. I mean, he started with you don't see curve, you don't see space, blah blah blah.
Well, that was discussed before, I think, though, wasn't that in the other movies? So that's why he's not going to discuss that. He's going to discuss something else.
But that's what I think. All well and good to say for us who know that there's other movies and that, but there's people who are just going to come across this who don't even know there's other movies.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. I hear you.
There's other movies, is there?
Other docus. Documentaries.
Well,
let's go on to see what its point is. I mean, I don't actually know what the point is yet.
Challenger. We know we share this pain with all of the people of our country. This is truly a national loss.
The 7 NASA astronauts supposedly killed in the 1986 Challenger disaster did not die in the explosion and are quietly living out their lives in the US, with many of them hiding in plain sight, using their same names and working at high levels in the same fields they worked in before the disaster.
Why does he stick his Hibbler Productions on the one person's, other guy's face?
Because one of them is not proven. They couldn't find one of them, so
But like I said, why put the Hibbler Productions face on? Just don't put his. I mean, that's a bit weird.
Because they want you to focus on the other guys' faces, because that one they really couldn't prove it.
That's weird because I'm concentrating on that Hibbler Productions logo, other than other people.
Yeah,
that to me is a bit weird.
Yeah.
According to explosive evidence uncovered by investigators,
we've located 6 out of 7 of them. In the world of deception, it's really easy to say this person is that person, and there's a lot of that going on, muddying the waters. But 6 out of 7 have identical names. They work for universities, most of them.
There were no people in the Challenger. That was a hoax. That's been proven. conclusively.
Okay. This I gotta say. So he almost like a saying, why did they start with this? Which I still don't agree with, because they are kind of now just pissing off Globus at this point, and then you're getting Santos Bonucci saying it's proven. No, you still get people today that say that's not proven.
Even in his mind, it's proven.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was say, even if it's proven, what's proven? It's proven that those people didn't die. How does that help us in the nature of Earth? Say, what are we saying is proven? That NASA lie is another bit. That's all it really adds. It doesn't, in terms of the nature of the realm we dwell atop, it doesn't add anything to that. It just shows us that the powers that be lie and manipulate in the media.
So then, hold on. It'd be easier than if they had started out with that guy who made the blue marble and talking about all that stuff, and then talking about Don Petit talking about how we can't get back to the moon because whoops. I think that'd be better to have that stuff from their own words rather than use something that's kind of highly volatile, But who knows?
It's not volatile. It's good. It's good, relevant stuff in terms of the Apollo Challenger disaster. What went on? Yeah, it's real good critique.
But I'm just saying though it's probably simpler for the approach to ballers with, hey, this is a picture of the Earth that you worship, but guess what? This isn't really the Earth, and here's why. And I don't know. Who knows? I'm just throwing it out there.
Whether somebody blew up or not, or whether their twin blew up, or whatever the possible permutations of that is, it doesn't address whether or not we're on a flat or a ball.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of Alex Jones, Sandy Hookish, really. I mean, it's kind of like that stuff.
I'm not poo-pooing it. It's actually quite good conjecture, because they're raising the main points of conspiracy.
I like it. I'm just saying that from a standpoint of trying to get the normies and to pull them in, this probably isn't a great thing to pull them in with.
This is like level 7 stuff. You know what I mean? They're just gonna see people like, oh no, these people are just they conspiratards, So
right.
Why should I watch this? That's all they're gonna say.
Exactly. 100%. I like it though. So let you guys know I like this part. I'm cool with it. But
just say I'm looking on a view that, okay, I've never come really into flat Earth before. I'm trying to see now, what is this all about? Because now they're saying level with me, What do I see? In the beginning, I see, okay, it's all about the money. Now I'm seeing, okay, it's all about the conspiracy. Well, it's painting a bad light on flat Earth, in my opinion, coming as a new guy to the subject.
That's what I meant at the beginning when I said it starts off in the realm of conspiracy. So it ties all this documentary as a conspiracy video, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But to people who aren't us, they think all this is conspiracy. All this, why would they lie? So it's kind of, doesn't matter what you start with, it still go back to conspiracy. You guys are crazy, that kind of thing. Really, so no matter what you pick, I don't think you're going to win this with people. You just got to keep it simple. But this is the third movie, so I would not approach somebody, hey, watch this movie. I'd be like, hey, watch this first one first. If you like it, watch number 2, then watch number 3. I wouldn't have them watch this first thing first,
Yeah.
By researchers and reporters, investigators, who have found that those supposed people that were in the Challenger are still alive today.
We remember Dick Scobie, the commander who spoke the last words we heard from the Space Shuttle Challenger. We remember Michael Smith. We remember Judith Resnick. We remember Krista McAuliffe. We remember Ellison Onizuka. We remember Ronald McNair.
People still think the Challenger exploded with these astronauts. It was a horrible thing. Never happened. Yes, the rocket exploded. There was no one on board.
So imagine you're at the launch of the Challenger. This is a historic moment and it blows up in midair. Whether you are personally related to somebody on there or don't know anybody, you're going to be a mess. This is an emotional, incredible scene. And CNN was reporting, and they told the cameraman, let's get a live shot of Krista's parents. And when they zoomed in on them, they were giggling. They were...
Yeah, they don't really look like... I mean,
Yeah.
I know if you've seen parents, I had a friend, he was into racing, and the parents were there at the championship, and the guy rolled the car, and it also had caught on flames. The parents were distraught. The mom was like crying and screaming, "Get him out!" You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
these guys, they didn't look really like they knew what was coming. You understand? Look at them. It's almost like they knew. It's not like they were really bothered that much. Not really.
I can tell from there, to be honest.
They're laughing at it at one point.
Yeah. I mean, with that, I mean, in my mind, there's no way that the Challenger disaster happened. You know what I mean? Yes, something exploded, but I don't believe they were in it.
No.
I mean, most of them can be accounted for, except one, like Duke said, and two of them have got twin brothers. Just so happen to have twin brothers. You know, it's just mental.
Crazy.
And all the people that can be accounted for as them, they've all got the same names, or the middle names have gone to the first.
Or they just got some lost twin brother that they've never knew about that looks exactly the same. I mean, tell me, how does a person's teeth structure look exactly the same?
Exactly. I mean, the slope of the eyes with some guys, they all look identical. I mean, Judith Resnick's the most recognizable to me, I think.
And
But,
Scobie.
yeah.
The features of Scobie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tell me you can find any person that looks close to him as a doppelganger.
No, he's very unique looking.
And I want to say Judith was actually in a TV show or two before. Like she played a cameo one time. It was her or the other one. I forget her name, but that's pretty interesting. That's pretty brave to be like doing that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, like, wow.
Hey, Faciality, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. Really, really appreciate it, man. He says Numpty Academy Sci-Fi Astronauts, boo-hoo, which says NASA. Brilliant. Thank you very much for the super chat, Faciality. Appreciate it.
We love the acronyms. We love the acronyms.
Laughing. They were smiling. I don't know how you can put a smile on someone's face, even if you told them the funniest joke in the world at that very moment. Just look at their face. Is that the face of somebody whose daughter just blew up in the most horrific, violent accident ever? Or is that somebody playing a role, not knowing that they're on camera and thinking about the money that they may have gotten? You can hide somebody that's allegedly dead right in plain sight. All you have to do is move them a little farther away, give them a different job, claim that they're somebody else. You don't even need to change their name.
So statistically speaking, the odds that almost everyone on the Challenger have exact lookalikes with exact names still existing is kind of laughable, honestly. Exact doppelgangers existing in the world with the same names, and when confronted, they get very nervous and their stories begin to conflict and they have the same mannerisms. You know, it doesn't take a lot to put it together, honestly.
Let's start with former NASA astronaut Michael J. Smith, with the same name as this retired professor from the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Okay, but guys, remember, this is also now where it gets to you can understand because they also get harassed a lot by people. Okay? I mean, you'd also get pissed off and irritated if someone comes to you and say, "Oh, you this person, blah blah blah." Obviously they are, but I'm just saying.
Even if it is him, though, he deserves to be harassed because he's a liar.
Yeah, but I mean, people have a nature, a human nature, to get irritated if people are going to harass you the whole time. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't just base it off, because they're getting irritated because you're harassing them, therefore it is them. That to me is just a stupid, idiotic assumption to make. But yeah, if anybody has any sense of self-thinking logic, it's clearly been fabricated. Definitely the people that were supposedly on that shuttle. There's no doubt about it. And it's weird how they just don't take it too seriously to say, okay, here's the DNA tests, let's prove it, or anything. You know what I mean? It's just leave them alone, you bully.
I just can't believe I didn't realize it until 2015 or 2014, maybe. You know, I just can't believe I didn't know it before that. It just seems so evident now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Michael Smith?
Yeah.
Professor at university?
Retired.
Retired?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just stopped by because there's this room. Are you aware of that? There's a rumor on the internet.
It's not me.
That people are saying.
Yeah, it's not me, obviously. I mean, anybody that looks at my background, looks where I was born, it's not me. I mean, it's interesting that the Michael J. Smith that was the astronaut looks something like me when we were younger.
He looks exactly.
But really not, if you really look at facial recognition.
He looks exactly like you. The sad thing is they couldn't even afford to do plastic surgery. That's the sad thing of all, guys.
The thing is as well. Before he keeps denying that it's him, but at the end of it, he kind of says, he kind of bigs himself up, don't he? He says, "I mean, I wish it was me. He was quite a guy." You know?
But I mean,
yeah.
he's got the same slooping eyes, the same type of hairline, the same type of nose, the same everything about it is exactly the same chin. It's insane.
You talk about plastic surgery, all they had to do was change the names.
But you see, this is what Adam was talking about earlier. You see what they're pushing everybody into. Now you're looking this instead of what's the argument?
Yeah.
Flat Earth. They didn't go to space. But now you're getting pushed onto, oh, these guys are have lied, they never died, blah, blah, blah. But the argument's supposed to be, yeah, they never went to space. But now we're all stuck on this.
You never been a pilot, never been in the military?
Nothing like that.
Huh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I don't respond to the emails I get. I get probably an email, maybe 2 a month.
Really?
And I got one guy that's been really hounding me, and I turned it over to the FBI.
Okay. Yeah, you just sure look alike. It's the same name.
I know the facial thing, but that's what we looked like. What? 40 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's what we looked 40 years ago. So you just conceded, guys. That's what we looked like 40 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
we were supposed to say that's what he looked like 40 years ago, no?
Yeah.
He said that's what we looked like. That's very specific words.
That's a fantastic bit of investigative journalism with regards to whether or not people died on the Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Travis.
I don't know what it's got to do with flat Earth in the slightest.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Like I said, it's a fantastic bit of investigative journalism to do with whether or not people died on the Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But like you say, nothing to do with that.
Michael J. Smith, identical looks, dimples the same, teeth the same. There's really no denying it. And before he could finish the question, Michael denied it. Oh, that's not me, you know, and laughed it off. What's he going to say? Oh, you got me? Not going to happen.
The driveway footage of Michael J. Smith, that's real. I mean, that can't be a deep fake, you know. So at some point, you got to stop trusting liars.
We don't hide our space program. We don't keep secrets and cover things up. We do it all.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
Is that coming from Ronald Reagan? The actor.
We don't keep secrets. Wow. Okay. That's a new one. Tell me, guys, since when do government agencies not keep secrets?
Yeah, so there was really a Star Wars program, wasn't there?
All up front and in public.
Next is former NASA astronaut Judith Resnick with an exact doppelganger working at Yale University. 37 years have passed and she hasn't even changed her name. Side by side, there's no denying it. When she's approached, she has a very odd way of not responding.
Hey, Judy? How you doing? I'm from the press. I just had a quick question, if you don't mind.
What press? I'm
from a radio station in San Bernardino. I know there's a conspiracy about the space shuttle. No, I want to be polite. Friendly. Just a question. So there's a lot of rumors about you being on that space shuttle. Obviously, you know, if you want to comment, we would really appreciate it.
Kind of odd that Judith is in full panic mode when realizing the press is in her presence.
Yeah, and her voice is exactly the same, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I think they did voice analysis on her
Mhm.
from when she spoke before and then this journey, and it's exactly the same. The same crackles, the same everything. So that's really weird as well. I mean, if people can't see that, I don't know. What can we say?
Yeah.
But I mean, I wish they would actually get, you know, if they're going to go through every single astronaut like this now, then what are we going to end up on this? They could have then called this, let it be conspiracy. You know what I mean? Not level with me. If it's level with me, then say, open, guys, this is the argument. We're saying they never went to space and the astronauts are lying to you, NASA's lying to you. That's the document. But that's not what they're trying to, that's not what the message is that they're trying to give. But that's what they're showing us. A whole documentary now on trying to show that people never died on the space shuttle. I mean, they could have. I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but that's how it seems to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's no stranger to being in the spotlight. She even made her way into Hollywood for a quick cameo.
If the choice is to allow Americans to be taken as hostages or to be executed, I'll bring my own rope. Saddam backed down, and Ambassador Wilson helped thousands get safely home. When he himself came home to the United States, he was warmly greeted by our president, who took him to the Oval Office and introduced him to the War Cabinet as an American hero.
Commander Dick Scobie had a company called Cows and Trees, and when you went to his website, there was an animation of a cow taking off like a rocket with a smoke stream coming out of its backside, doing a twisty curl in the air that looked remarkably just like what we saw with the Challenger.
I remember seeing this as well, yeah. Tell me something. That's how the Challengers look. No, it says looks remarkably like the Challenger. That's a bit taking it too far. I'm sorry, that doesn't look anything like the Challengers. But, okay.
And after we started making videos on that and it started going viral, that website disappeared, never to be seen again.
And nobody could have predicted back in 1986 that in 30 some odd years from then, that there would be something called the internet that would bring all this information to the tip of your fingers, and you'd be able to search through pictures, Facebooks, websites, profiles. Now these people are scared. They're hiding their profiles. They're deleting their websites. They're making...
Yet you still get pictures of it. Weird. Just have to say that. They're hiding everything, but you're still able to get it. So they're not doing a very good job.
Who was this guy anyway?
I have no idea. I just see blind or whatever that is.
Their Facebook's private.
Onizuka and McNair are always together. They're hanging out at NASA and always talking about themselves.
Ellison Onizuka. If you look at clips of him back in 1986 when this happened, he actually spoke like every other word was
Let me say that it's really a pleasure to be back.
If you look at clips of his brother Claude now speaking, it's the same exact thing. Every other word is
But Ellison's dream is continued to be carried on.
I think we got some...
we're very fortunate that
I think we're ready to go fly. Thanks for being out here today.
His brother just so happens to be the spokesperson for the Challenger tragedy. Why?
Yeah. Any thing to say, guys? I mean, I think it's quite said what we can say. I don't know.
Yeah,
I got something to say. Space is fake.
It didn't happen. Space is definitely fake.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, you've never heard that before at all.
I mean, this evening, whilst watching the documentary, I've not heard the documentary make that statement yet.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Because he starts off that they want to show space is fake. But all they're doing now is having a whole bunch of documentary on the astronauts are alive. You know what I mean? It's like, get to the point. We understand now. You're saying the astronauts never died. But I don't know. It's like they were searching for. It's like they were trying to put. How can I say? Getting content for their documentary, and now they're just flooding it with this the whole time.
How can we prove it one way or the other, though?
Easy. Entropy. The second law of thermodynamics. Entropy. Bam. Space is fake.
So they're alive then.
What we can't do, Neil, is prove it by deciding whether or not that's the person that went supposedly into the Challenger, or whether it's somebody who looks like them, or their twin, or whatever. That offers no proof. You said the most pertinent question. Space is fake. So all that matters here right now. Let's not discuss anything else. If we're gonna, to me, that's what needs pointing out to the viewer, not this bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is very weak. It's a weak argument.
Well, it's a vacuum of space. The way they teach it is fake, right? I mean, we look up and we see, right?
I mean, think about it. If you want to say, bring this argument up, all good and dandy, but you don't have to go through every single astronaut now, blah, blah, you know, trying to pay. Just say, this is the reason, and then go on. Why is space fake? You understand? So you've given your one reason, but you don't have to now go on and on with the same reason, because frankly, even me, I'm getting bored now with watching this, because it's like it's going to go through every single astronaut, and I have no anticipation of anything. I'm just like, oh, can this end now? I want to get to the next point. And I mean, this is from a flat earther. Imagine how it is for a globe earther that's seeing these people now as vile because they brought this up. How dare you say our astronauts never died? You know, that's a thing. You know how much people are going to tune out because of this?
Exactly.
I mean, we're supposed to be looking at this as they're representing flat earth here. They're supposed to be getting the information out to the masses that have never really come into flat earth. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not getting a good vibe from this at all.
Why aren't there any
Sorry?
I'm saying no. I'm agreeing with you. No. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, and I'm saying no. I meant no.
No.
No. What the kind of thing as Scottish people do? We say like "I," but when we mean no, like say "I," no. You know what I mean? I know what you mean, but no, that kind of thing.
pictures of his brother back when this happened? Why didn't his brother speak at the funeral? Use your head.
Former Governor Ariyoshi, who has a story about a picture that survived the Challenger disaster.
Ellison Onizuka came to see me one day, and he wanted a family photo. And he wanted to take it up on a Challenger, and he's going to bring it back, inscribe it, and autograph it. But that Challenger accident happened, and I felt very sorry to lose Ellison. But I didn't even think about the photo. I thought everything else must have been destroyed completely. About 2 months later, Lorna Onizuka called me and told me that they found in the water, NASA found the personal preference kit of Ellison Onizuka. And she said there were two things in there. One was a monk's prayer, and the other was his family portrait. So I told her, oh, then it must be in terrible condition because the astronauts, the big bang up and the ocean in the water for 2 months. She told me, no, it's in perfect condition.
Yeah, perfect condition. If it's been exploded, everything was. I mean, what did they say was the temperature of that explosion? The flames. It kind of disintegrated practically everything. Now, how did it not disintegrate a photo? Think about that. And
Must have been made out of the same stuff as that passport.
Yeah.
And it was sitting in the water for how long? I mean, you guys know what happens straight away to a photograph if water gets on it.
Yeah.
Really weird.
She said, I'm going to bring the picture over to you and present it to you. And then in the meantime, NASA got the picture and they put this together for us.
Ronald McNair conveniently has a twin brother named Carl McNair who looks exactly like him and is at a lot of the events now, but was nowhere to be found when the explosion happened.
Krista McAuliffe was a fairly new teacher, just 3 years at that school. To get her story planted, all of these people, the parents, the astronauts, everyone involved that you saw, are crisis actors.
Hesse was at the Cape in the stands to see Tuesday's launch, a sight that she says still haunts her.
Why didn't I leave too? But I thought, no, I want to stay and see it.
And as she read Mike's invitation for the launch, Miss Hesse said that she doesn't know if she'll be emotionally ready for a service like that in his hometown.
Since I won't be able to
Ellen, ballers don't measure, they do math.
see you all in person, let me say thanks for coming and have a great time. And I hope you see a good show.
George Bush Sr. hand-selected the teacher, Krista McAuliffe. What are the odds that 30 years later, there is a professor at Syracuse University with the name Sharon McAuliffe?
I still can't believe that I'm going to actually be going into that shuttle. It just really doesn't seem possible.
Krista McAuliffe was asked if she had any fears about her space shuttle flight.
People really feel that space travel is safe now. It's not that earlier feeling that, oh, it's going to blow up or something's going to happen.
What?
Wow. I never knew she said that.
No.
Wow, no. That's crazy.
But I'll tell you what, listening to this, now I understand why Nathan takes that position and just says space is fake, so I'm not even going to deal with this nonsense. Now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, what is this really showing? Yes, we get it. They lied. Okay. Now move on. You know what I mean? It's like, now it's like just milking the cat now. It's dry.
Well, it tries to portray flat earthers as heartless and cold. But if we can prove that the region where this supposedly happened does not exist because of entropy, then it's over.
Yeah,
we don't need any of this.
Yeah, I don't mind them bringing this up, but they just shouldn't have opened with this. You know, first provide us why, you know, the best thing. You can't go to space because it violates natural law. Once you've provided the foundations why you can't go, then you can start going more into the deeper hole. You see, they lied, you can't this, that, blah, then it's fine. But now they're not actually getting to the crux of the argument, because now they're just literally going through them and saying, oh, yeah,
Hold on.
They lied.
I see what you're saying. Flatzoid. Explain to them that Narnia don't exist before you go into Narnia.
Exactly.
I got you.
That's
yeah.
right.
They're putting them, that's what I'm saying, they're putting them there without just first laying the foundation. Look, guys, we just told you in the beginning, space isn't real, it's fake. But now let's take you to space.
Yeah.
And right at this point, I feel that I'll be okay if I go off.
Well, where's Jarvis? How come you haven't located him? And the answer is, you know, he could have died of natural causes, a heart attack, a car accident, 3, 4, 5 years later, and it would never be reported.
The reason they did it was a psychological operation to justify not doing manned space flights anymore and to pull on your heartstrings with an emotional cover. So if you dare question it, then you're immoral. And then when you look into it, you find out, of course, that you have all these people still existing in the world. So basically a government version of witness protection for NASA.
Our nation held a vigil by our television sets. In one cruel moment, our exhilaration turned to horror. We waited and watched.
They were waiting and watching.
Well, you know, this is actually making me in the mood to make my own documentary of why space is fake.
Yes.
Why would we do that? Why would we make it just a documentary on what we have?
Yeah,
like
why not?
celestial navigation, understanding that you cannot get an elevation angle off a curved surface, the black swan. Let's put all that into a documentary.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's exactly what should happen.
I mean,
that'd be awesome.
If you think about it, all they did was take their close group of friends, told them this is what you should say, will visit, and then they stuck the thing on the TV, and used the drone in the beginning, and then stuck some dramatic music. There we have a documentary, guys.
Because think about
it is called
Flatzoid,
a production, though.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
go
but
ahead.
we don't even have to go in space. We could just go with you can't have gas pressure without containment and
That's
that
it.
space nonsense, and then go into our documentary.
Yeah.
No. Let's do a fake space where it looks like we're in space, floating around, talking about how it'd be kind of cool to do that while we're talking.
Well, Flats has got that covered anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
But
like
yeah, if you go straight away with the containment, you don't have to deal with space whatsoever. It's simple.
But
That's
I mean-
it's exactly what Neil's saying. You don't have to deal with space whatsoever.
I mean, it's all
Containment.
good to have the cinematics and stuff, but have the damn argument. Have the damn argument for your cinematics to be justified.
Mm.
I mean, this.
When they saw the explosion, there was confusion. Was something wrong? The principal and teachers weren't certain either. Then it got very quiet as the horror of it began to register.
Besides the trauma-based mind control and putting children through that trauma, and also it reinforces their model. It reinforces their religion.
Thank you, Godzilla37, for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it, mate. He says, just don't render it on Nathan's PC.
He's a chat beast, that guy is.
Yeah, Godzilla's
super chat
awesome.
beast.
Yeah, Godzilla's really awesome. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla. And don't let Nathan know you said that. But funny thing is, I think he'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Shame, he's really having problems with that. And a gifted... Whoa, what's going on now?
What's the matter?
Okay, it's like just reset everything. But yeah, thanks for the super chat, mate. You rock.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, Flatzoid, game's over. Well, what we bring forth every day, the game is over. We don't even have to do all of this nonsense anymore.
I agree.
There is no evidence. There is no evidence for the globe, and there's plenty of evidence.
No science.
No science whatsoever. No science whatsoever.
Before you paused, he made a pertinent point there.
Yeah.
Which kind of mutes all the point of going through all the other stuff. Because he kind of summarizes their motivation, perhaps. Maybe appropriate, maybe not. It says it's to reinforce the heliocentric model. Maybe not exactly like that, but that's the point he's making. And that is all the purpose of this. There are separate issues that they'll use these for. Population, he's alluding to, but fundamentally, we're now hopefully getting to the point. This is just a small tick in the many boxes that reinforce heliocentric model.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna joke. Everybody says a lot of people also said their chat went haywire, just like mine. So they're saying it must be the FBI.
Yeah. You laugh, but I'm telling you, they're going to shut us down one day.
Or it's Witsit and Co. They want to excommunicate us. So.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. He's smart enough to do that. He's got a very, very high IQ.
No, that they couldn't do that. I doubt it.
Okay, let's go.
Look, all this terrible thing happened. We're trying to go to space.
Exactly.
We're trying, trying to explore for science. But look, all those people died.
But at 1 o'clock, school was closed. It had to close.
I felt as if my whole body blew up inside when I saw that. And I can just never be as shocked as I am now.
Seeing it with my own eyes, it really just scared me.
Some astronauts blow up in a rocket. What does that do subconsciously to the average person?
Yeah, and then they did exactly the same with 9/11.
Yeah,
right.
You want to hear something funny? Well, not funny, but my father said when they were planning this and it was coming on that they were going to send the Challenger up and a school teacher was going to be in there. My father said that will never happen. Mark my words, this is not going to happen. He was right.
Yep.
But I mean, they did exactly the same with 9/11. Get on from school, all of a sudden, there's a TV and there we see all of a sudden the plane. Why was it live before the first plane even hit? Doesn't make sense.
Was it?
By me, it was. They were
Listen, I was about 20 blocks away, and I didn't hear anything about planes till I got home.
It was weird because I got home.
Wow.
All of a sudden, it's on the news, and they're talking about this hijacked plane or something, and they're standing there before the plane hits the first one. How? How are you in? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. You're in place before the you know where it's gonna go, and all of a sudden there. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Or that one building that fell, but like the person's talking about it, and all of a sudden it falls after they talk about it. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
That was
about
pretty
the
weird.
guy? And how about the guy that just broke down why the buildings would collapse in the first place? He was there, Johnny on the spot, due to the structure, whatever he said.
Crazy.
They don't want to go up into space. They don't want to blow up in a rocket. We'll leave that to the professionals. We'll leave that to NASA or government.
Once they had seen the evidence on the visual screen that there would be no survivors, it suddenly became apparent to them that they were dealing with death.
My chat's going haywire again.
Yeah, it's just.
I've just seen it do it myself.
Yeah,
the
it's just
hell?
weird. It's just flicking.
Darn
through.
you, Witsit. Darn you.
Wow.
It's flicking through everything.
Another 5. Is Godzilla sending more?
What the
What's
heck?
going on?
Nah, surely not.
Something's getting really haywire, guys.
He's sending you his whole salary.
You better watch your bank account, God, man.
Someone's tapping into your account here. You're going to buy now I've gifted twice. No, it says you gifted 3 times apparently, or twice.
three
I don't
times.
know. Be careful. Just know you're going to gift like 600 people. But thank you anyway, guys. Well, I don't know what's going on. This is weird. This never happened to me before. See, and it happens to everybody at exactly the same time. So it's definitely on YouTube side, whatever's going on.
Well, the other day I was on a show called Space Audits. Him and I were talking live, like we are, and so Bobby's his name. And there was a person who came on and said, "Hey, I'm being banned," and then we looked and they weren't banned. So we're like, "What the?" Because I think, and then we had a problem too. I think you had a problem too in your show one time about that.
Last
one time
night
they were
with
being
Melissa.
banned. Yeah,
Last night with
you
Melissa
too.
as well, yeah.
So I think there's issues going on with YouTube.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think they have problems. It's AI, guys. The AI is taking over.
Yeah. Damn Terminators.
How dare
After
you,
the
flat
Vista,
earthers.
baby.
We'll just get Michael on it. I
There
mean,
you
you
go.
could buy-
It's,
Yeah.
going, it's doing it again. It's doing it again.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's doing it again, man.
It's just flicking through everything. It's just going up and down, isn't it? What the heck's
Wow.
going
It's
on?
like, I don't like your accent. No. The AI,
It's guys.
I don't like it either.
It's Agent Smith, guys.
I know, huh? AI Smith.
Oh wow. Okay, let's carry on.
The government had incentivized the different public schools to play the Challenger in their classrooms. So they rolled their TV sets out. They had all the children sit down and get ready to watch it. And 20% of the American public watched the Challenger event happen live. And within 1 hour, 80% of Americans had seen the Challenger tragedy happen. So just like with 9/11, they have everyone see this traumatic event, and then we're all in unison that we're traumatized.
When it blew up, it was a form of trauma-based mind control that some people will never grow out of, and then the emotions kick in, and you're unable to think logically about what's going on.
Of course, this was planned. They made every school show this event live. They wanted these kids to grow up defending this tragedy.
Think about how many field trips come here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they go in and watch that Heroes in...
Yeah.
I said earlier about difference between Americans and British.
Yeah.
Not really what happened here. Then again, we made up jokes. What colour were the astronauts' eyes? Blue. One blue over there and one blue over there. That was
Oh my
the
gosh.
level of trauma
Adam,
we suffered.
But it shows you everybody's culture is different.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Americans, you guys get offended too easily. I'm sorry.
No. Just certain
Hey,
of the
speak for
lefties. Yeah. I'm not one of those people. Like Neil and I aren't lefties, so no, we're not part of that group.
I'm glad, yeah.
Nope.
Because it's getting bad there by now, guys. Yo.
I do joke about stuff like that, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because here in South Africa, if someone has to come and say that you're offending, they'll either look at you like, "What the hell is your problem?" or they'll knock you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
They're not gonna go, "Oh, you hurt my feelings."
You know when the Queen died?
Yeah.
I bet there was more Americans cried than British people.
I didn't cry at all.
Probably.
Fuck. I'm not a fan of the Monarch. Sorry, I don't like him.
But
No offense to you, Adam.
But what happened? Remember when with Prince William's wedding? How? No, in America it was a huge thing.
Are you talking about Prince Charles or Prince William?
Prince
'Cause
William.
I remember
No,
Prince
William.
Charles and Diana. That was
That
huge.
was also
in
that
America.
was huge everywhere.
Yeah.
But even Prince William,
Yeah.
it was like crazy big in some places in America. I was like, what the hell, you guys are
He's a
showing up-
buffoon. Him and that
showing up-
Markle chick.
was showing up more than people
Sorry.
in Britain. I was
That's
like,
Harry. That's Harry. That's not William.
no, that's Harry. Yeah.
Can I be
I'm talking about
honest
his
with you?
brother. I'm talking
Sorry.
about his older brother with
remember that
with
one.
Kate.
I'm going to tell you what the biggest wedding was. Even bigger than Prince Charles. It was Luke and Laura in General Hospital back in the day.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. I didn't watch it, but yeah, that's funny.
I think I figured out why the chat's going mental.
Yeah.
Somebody's heisting Godzilla's bank account.
That's what I'm
That's
telling
all
you.
that's happening.
Look at
It's just
this.
resetting and he's getting debited stuff.
Every time I'm just getting memberships, like I said, better watch out. Just not get like 6 members in one evening. 600 members can be crazy.
Wow.
Because every time it just gets to 5, and it keeps giving 5 members. Jeff, thank you for coming, mate. Really appreciate you. Godzilla, I think it's Paula for sure.
Level up.
Legends
Rich
thing, and they
says
come
it's
out.
her that's causing it.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be.
I don't see how it can be like that.
Sorry, guys. I thought this documentary is going to be more exciting than this.
It's
Well, when is this documentary?
I'm going to test what she says. I'm going to go on my phone and see if it happens when I press the heart button.
Do you guys
It's a
want
new
us to
thing.
forward a bit of something to try and see if they actually bring something else up?
What heart button?
On the phones, there's now a heart button. That
Oh,
when
yeah,
someone
click the heart, yeah.
We could fast forward it.
100% or smile or something like that.
Okay. So you guys in the panel think we should fast forward a bit, see if they bring up other
No, I
arguments?
think it should. I think you should play it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot we were watching.
This is the
it, to be
greatest
honest.
possible hero that they could ever be, and that's just they're actors, and we're building them up higher than your father, police, military, all these people that are actual heroes. These are actors working for a government agency. So.
Next.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm gonna get one of these signed if that's all right. My name's Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Yes, with an IN.
Where are you from?
Look, he's actually been doing cool work when he stood up there in front of the judges. What's that court?
Over at Bavard, you mean?
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's him.
wow.
Richie, I've just tried it and it doesn't happen. Richie said she's done it and it happened again at 36 minutes past. I've just tried it and it didn't happen. I pressed every single one. So I don't know. Maybe it's just Richie's doing it.
Jamal says,
Who is this guy?
Is this someone that read and delete comments so they don't appear? Because I keep sending a link, but can't send it in the chat on screen. But down. Yeah, unfortunately, only people spammers are allowed to send links though. I had to do it that way because I had issues with people sending really disgusting links before.
That's why you took my spanner away, innit?
Yeah, I took everybody's away. And sad to say, I lost quite a few subscribers that day.
You didn't take mine.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually.
You didn't take mine. I asked you to take mine off me.
You still got yours. That's why I'm keeping
He
it.
likes it when you send disgusting ones, though, Michael.
Hey, Flatzoid. So, Neil's asking about this guy, who he is.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the guy who went to Brevard County in America here. I mean, California or Florida, I forget where. And he wanted to tell these people, the council, about a fraud going on right in front of them. And so he was telling about NASA's frauds and the bubbles of space. And I don't know if they bought it or anything. I doubt they bought it, but he at least got out there and said something in public about it.
Yeah, he wants him to do
which
an
is pretty cool.
inquiry about it.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. He's the guy.
Because he says you can show them green screens and the wire
Right.
harnesses and all that. Yeah.
Yes,
But they're probably
bubble
going to
of space,
show.
all that fun
They're probably going to show each other.
Orlando.
You're not far from
Not too far. No, I'm okay on a picture, but thank you. I do have a question though. Sometimes when we're watching the ISS footage, you'll see the astronauts sometimes connected to like wires and harnesses. Is that to keep them like in the frame during the broadcast, or what's the reason for that?
No, I haven't actually. You mean while they're inside the shuttle?
Yeah, like when they're inside the ISS, sometimes during the feeds, the broadcast, you'll
Oh,
see
do the
kind of
yes, it
pulling
probably-
on their belts or something like that.
I bet that is.
Thanks, Travis. But I think it's going to show up here anyway, so.
I bet that is. I have not personally seen that.
Oh,
But I
really?
know that they try to be still when they're doing
Right.
talking to someone, and then they usually try to release and do like a flip at the end
Yeah,
or something like
because
that.
I've seen the
Yeah.
flip before, and it almost looked like a foot was caught like inside something, but there was nothing really there. It was really strange. I didn't know if there was something to kind of like hold them in place or something.
We never had anything like
Oh,
that,
okay.
but they may have learned over time that it was hard to.
I like this a bit better than the Challenger argument, to be honest. This just show, you see, if they can fake it, then why would they need to fake it? If
No,
it's real,
you're right.
if it's real, why would they need to fake it?
Because if she turned round to Justin Harvey, respect to him, does a lot of non-flat Earth stuff. If she turns round at this point and goes, "Yeah, I think it's all done in a shed in Nevada," proves flat Earth, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because that lady there sat at the NASA booth at some convention has just been grilled on what the ethics of NASA are and what goes off and a place she's never even seen,
Yep.
whether it's in Nevada or in a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. She's never been there. She's a receptionist. It's like going to the dentist saying, "What do you think of my teeth?" to the receptionist. What's her opinion
Oh wait,
there?
is she a receptionist? I thought she was an astronaut.
I think she was an astronaut, but I don't think she was. She was.
But why is that not the first question?
Yeah.
That your whole program is defying entropy. Can you please explain this to me? How you're going to a place?
Let's put it this way: if I was in America right now, I would go there. I would ask for an interview with the engineers, and I would ask them, "How do you guys account for the law of entropy?" I'd specifically ask them, and I said, "Can you show me any demonstrations how you can overcome entropy?" And I promise you, every single one of them will have blank faces.
They would like, what's
I'd
entropy?
ask her, why is it in the old days it was the best of the best, the fittest, the most elite, and now they send up chubby middle-aged women or William Shatner? And there's no-
Diversity is why. Diversity, being inclusive. Come on now, Adam.
but remember,
that is
come
the
on
best
now.
answer I've ever heard.
but remember,
No, Berkeley, I love it.
Yeah.
But remember, Shatner has a large cult following, you could say, of older generation, and
My
then,
dad
like Dude
was like
Perfect, and Dude Perfect has the younger generation. So they're getting everybody from different generations. See, yeah, my hero. So therefore, space is real.
You mean Arwen's hero?
Oh my God, not that
No,
again.
they just need to get a wizard up there.
I'm waiting for that coming up.
They'll just need a wizard up there,
poor
and
Arwen.
Arwen will think space is real, guys. Just
So
get a
I
wizard
thought
up
they
there.
sent William. I'm sorry, Flatzoid. I thought they sent William Shatner up there because he's had all the experience,
Right.
of all those years. He was in the Starship Enterprise.
And $6
defying
million man
entropy.
too.
What he shat on her?
$6
Where?
million man.
I still
No,
want to
that
know.
wasn't William Shatner.
Can you guys give me one answer though? A 70-year-old man can experience G-forces for up to 2 minutes of that.
Up
and
to a
still-
90.
Yeah.
I don't
90
know.
or whatever it is.
He's fat too. He's not skinny or in
No,
shape or anything, so
no.
I doubt it.
I mean, those.
No, I wanted
Chick
to
Owen.
say something though.
Owen.
So Shatner was the guy who, after Star Trek got canceled, he went and did a guest shot on $6 Million Man as an astronaut. And in that episode, he was up there in space, or whatever you want to call it, and said, "Folks," he was telling them, "Hey, guess what? It's flat." That's what he said on the show.
Yep.
Shatner, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Owen, it was just a joke, mate. But yeah, like I was saying, how does that work? I mean, you know how hard it is to experience those so-called G-forces for 10 seconds, 30 seconds? I mean, over a minute and a half of experiencing that.
they had a video once of a lady was a video showing her what happens to her face, and it was so excruciating for her, and she was in better in shape than I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't imagine Shatner being no way because he had done it for 2 minutes. I don't see how he could have.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever think the public would find out that all the spacewalks were filmed underwater?
Thanks,
Do you have any comment on that?
Well, we train underwater.
Oh, okay, but only training?
Only training.
Okay.
Yeah, now they use snorkels, guys. Did you know
They
that?
drown too, apparently.
Did you guys know that they're making it mandatory to have snorkels?
Yes.
For the astronauts now.
Like I said yesterday, and he's been awful long bloody snorkel to get out.
Wow.
Well, according to scripture, there's waters above.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And now the Globers are saying, no, you guys are stupid. It's just because of sweat. He's drowning in his own sweat. Okay.
That's BS.
Sweat enough to drown you? I never.
You can't sweat that much.
So much that I would drown.
Yeah,
you would die.
Most of the public
There's all
have no
loss of sodium out of your body, and you'd be
I mean, they're like literally saying how unhygienic these astronauts are, guys. I mean, taking shits and pee and sweat all over in their suits. Oh, come on.
Speaking of, there's a channel that I mod at now called Space Audits. Are like Flat Earth and Coffee. That's
oh yeah, Flat Earth and Coffee,
channel.
awesome
and,
channel. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to help them out with doing some audits of these different agencies and their spacewalks and their ISS stuff and shenanigans. I'm going to help them out with that. So
awesome. Yeah, no, he's got an awesome channel.
Yeah, he does. Bobby's pretty good. He's pretty cool.
Idea that the ISS is located in an underwater neutral buoyancy lab in Houston, Texas. The space station footage that they trick us with is not traveling at 17,500 miles per hour above your head. It's all being filmed here on Earth. An exact ISS replica.
Narrating?
I don't know.
It sounds like that YouTuber.
She's British though.
Yeah, I can't remember. Her
I
name.
think she's Kiwi, isn't she?
Sounds like Roxanne to me.
Is Roxanne? Nah.
I thought that sounded more like Rachie.
Rachie.
That was what I mean is that's a more North England accent.
I thought she was from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Richie's more mid England.
She's bollocks.
He's mid England. She is.
Mid England if you live in Scotland, but that's not mid England. That's mid Britain.
I live in mid England. I know our accent.
Oh wow.
Underwater. Coincidence?
No.
It's a pretty simple process. Film your footage underwater, remove the water layer, add in your CGI earth layer, and cast your spell.
She almost sounds like from Sussex, kind of.
Rachie says American. You can't say water like that.
No,
and be American.
That kind of sounds like Sussex, kind of. Just listen again.
Yeah.
It's a pretty simple process. Film your footage underwater. Remove.
That sounds like Rachie. Wow.
She just admitted it in chat. I don't like to say it, but even she's winding me up. That sounded like Rachie to me.
That does. Rachie.
That's funny. She's famous now.
Rachie, have you sold out?
No, she's just a legend.
No, she's sold out.
She's famous.
Well, Rachie, for my documentary, would you mind to come narrate for us?
Yes.
Please. Be great.
Hold on, I have to contest. I think Mary Mom has a better speaking voice, and I would like Mary Mom to narrate.
Remove the water layer. Add in your CGI earth.
No, I think. I think the
she's
best,
only joking.
I think the best narrative voice that we can get is definitely someone who's neutral, like Brenda.
Brenda.
Think of the dude saying earlier. Think of the inclusivity that you can get from that being your narrator. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Earth layer and cast your spell.
Victoria Rachel, guys. That's the.
Don't forget your scuba gear.
Also, one thing I want to bring up: why does NASA have 21 VFX studios, guys? 21
Because they
for
can.
special effects and VFX.
Because it has to be.
For a space agency, that's a bit weird, eh?
Yeah.
Rachel, there's nothing wrong with your voice. So who's closer, me or Adam?
No, Rachel's got an awesome voice.
Okay, I was only kidding, Rachel.
I just said
You're my number one.
It's a proper voice. It's real.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with your voice. Rachel.
I don't put on airs and graces, and when you hear that, it's just there's an authenticity, and you can trust what's being heard. I like listening to Rachel because there's no. I say airs and
Have you ever heard Mary Mom speak? She came on the other day.
Oh, what is with you? You got a crush?
They both got. Hold on. No. Listen, they both have excellent speaking voices, and they convey a story very well. That's all I'm saying. So have them both.
Well, I
side
think Rachel.
by side.
Yeah, I have them both. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a Brit. And
Yes, I told you I was right. I knew I was right. I knew it.
I'll take it back, PJ. I'm a big enough man to say I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. Here's the icing
You sound
on
like
the
you're
cake.
more northern though, Rachel.
Hey, listen. Here's the icing on the cake, Adam. Mary Mom doesn't have an upward rising earth. Okay, Rachel?
Okay.
Oh. Hey, Blue Paul,
That's
how's
funny.
it going, mate?
That
Great
was
to
very
see you.
humble. That was very humble of me to take
Wow.
that. To take that like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Thank you,
thank you, Blue Pool Television, for your PayPal. £10, $10. Really appreciate it. American pounds. Thank you very much for the PayPal. Really appreciate it. You rock, mate. I'm glad to see. I haven't seen in a while though. My child is coughing in the background. Oh, it's 10-1, but I don't want to sleep. I'm enjoying this too much.
Is that the time already? Oh yeah, of course you didn't start till 10:10.
Keep it going. Play on.
Yeah, I'll sleep at work. How's that sound?
Level on.
One, two, three. Bubbles in space.
The International Space Station, that's a complete fraud. It's a complete hoax. I don't believe that all these astronauts are living up there and doing all this. Every single time that they do some type of live demonstration, you can see some type of faulty wiring, some type of glitch. They're literally being held up by strings.
Green screens, wires, CGI, augmented reality, all sorts of issues. Think about this. They always have the women with long flowing hair. That would never be allowed.
They literally spray.
I don't know if you guys
I
saw.
love that scene.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw. I think it was a few years ago how they showed how they did a mermaid advert with shampoo.
Yeah,
and they showed how
advert.
how they did the hair, and it's exactly how how it
That's
shows in
not
space.
That's like in Airplane, right? You know, when he's trying to talk him down and he's going, looks like I quit the wrong time. And then he goes, looks like I quit the wrong time. Sniffing glue.
Yeah, sniffing glue. That was the best part, man. Airplane's one of the
That's
best
hysterical.
films ever, man. One of the best comedies
No,
ever.
but when I see that hairdo of this woman, all I think about is remember that movie, Something About Mary.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, when she grabs his
Yep.
gel, she thinks it's gel from his ear, but it's really his sperm.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about it. That's a wow.
Hairspray in their hair to make it look like.
Exactly. You can't operate in a second law of thermodynamics violation. Plain and simple.
Right.
Like their hair is
Correct.
floating in zero gravity.
The International Space Station, brought to you by the same guys who faked 6 moon missions. Yeah, I believe that. I don't know exactly how they're videotaping themselves. They could be on one of those zero-G planes and, doing it all in there. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but I don't believe it at all. It looks like a bunch of green screen. I don't believe that at all.
Space Flatzoid.
Yeah.
This is like a testimony video. There's no actual detail. Like I say, there's little bits of inconsequential detail, but fundamentally, we've got semi-famous flat earthers, and then we've got people here, and that other guy he's another MMA fighter, isn't he? The other guy. So it just appears to be a testimony video.
Yeah.
It's not telling you why Christ. It's just John Travolta's converted, so come to this church. With no substance, respectfully. Like I say, it'd be great as a Discovery Channel feature. I'd have no problem with its level of content.
Yeah, but exactly what I'm saying. There's just nothing here, really.
No.
It's not a documentary. It shouldn't be called
Discovery
a
level.
Yeah, it's... I mean...
I bet they all patted themselves on the back after this one.
I mean, like I said, Hybler Productions is good with their cinematics, which they do. They're good. But it's the argument that's lacking here. There's no... How can I say substance, as you say? There's no oomph to have.
But that's my point about let's get one together that we can do collectively with the evidence we have, the debunkings we have, and the evidence we have, and we'll just keep it on that point.
I think we should.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Absolutely. Yeah.
Station is a serious place.
Serious place.
PJ.
I knew you were going to say something. I knew you were going to say something.
You want me to create a meme like that so I can put PJ's face on there?
Yeah.
Doing serious research, scientific research, and engineering.
But does it do harm to us? Don't think so. Normally, yeah. Well, I mean, this is obviously things we've all seen before. That's why. So
that's what I get for not being humble about winning that little thing.
Hey, you take your wins and you rub it in when you get them. That's what I do.
That's it.
Engineering research.
On solid fuel wires, turn the key and light the fire.
Running around in gorilla suits, going 17,500 miles an hour. There's supposedly micrometeorites, other satellites up there. They could die at any second, but they're running around playing with water. They're always playing with water, claiming to grow lettuce.
And I love this video because it looks like animation, like something that somebody made.
Because it is. It's a Musk thing. It looks fake. It's so fake. It looks so fake that it has to be real.
But it's actually real footage from the space shuttle, just sped up.
From the space shuttle, where's the camera attached to the space shuttle? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's tracking. It's like a rear view camera on the space shuttle.
Wow.
Whilst it's that's a claim, isn't it? She's got a dash cam.
Okay, yeah, that could work. But then again, what's the temperature outside in the so-called space vacuum, guys?
Right, lens melting, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the glass of the lens would melt. The plastic inside would become very brittle. The sensor won't really be able to work.
That's why the pictures are shit.
That explains everything. Yeah.
We're falling for the same thing. I know you're not Flatzoid, but we are. Space is fake because it defies the law of entropy.
Everything about it does, yeah. But I mean, I found something very interesting. Like when you talk about how do they have, I mean, the so-called ISS, it always gets heat, okay, from the sun there, constantly. Now, it's supposed to have radiators on board. How does a radiator work, guys?
Yeah, it's got to dissipate to something.
And if it's got nothing to dissipate into, what happens to the aluminium blades? It will melt.
Overheat.
Yeah, so...
Overheat and melt, exactly.
Wow, so the whole tin can there is not overheating, not melting, and it's got no way to dissipate the heat. Makes so much sense.
Imagine, right, if you go to another field, so it's not space exploration, you went, right, Hi, I'm Adam. I'm your brain surgeon for today. I want you to trust me. Here's a video of the last bit of surgery. I know it looks like it's really fake and shit and like somebody put it together, but trust me whilst I go into your brain. Yeah.
yeah, that's good. I mean, you just wouldn't let him, would you?
Oh, but it is real. Trust me. No, it's real. I know it looks crap. It's just, sometimes the lights in the operating theatre, they make it look a bit dodgy. And,
Unfortunately, Adam, you'll have a ton of customers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm off work now.
Yeah, guys, please do hit that like button and share the show. Really, really does help, guys. I think let's go on for another hour. How's that sound?
Yes, 4 more hours.
I'm willing to go on to 2 o'clock. It's fine. I can do a 3 hours sleep before work. That's okay.
Gee, poor guy.
A little bit. And this is a little video.
I thought you were working. YouTube was your actual job, like
Nope.
Nathan does.
Nope.
No.
No, I work in the day.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's about 4 minutes long here. So there's the space station. I love that this is not animation. This is film taken by a shuttle of the space station. And so this is real. It's not animation.
Right.
Yeah, just because you say so. Just trust me. This is real. While you're showing pixelation everywhere.
But she didn't sound very convincing. The way she said it, I kind of think, in a way, it was like an inside joke to her. You know what I'm saying? Like the way she said it was kind of like, I would think, I don't know, just the way she said it, it made me think she was just making fun of it.
I'm getting second-hand car salesman feel now. He's rolled out a paper mache Porsche, and this is real, honestly. This is real.
It's like the car comes in. Yeah, there's only 10 kilometers on the odometer. Are you sure it's second-hand? Yeah, the guy
We should have
just drove
10th man
it
on
out.
here.
The guy drove it out the showroom, and then they said sorry, he went bankrupt. And then later on, you see the guy standing at the back in the shed with a screwdriver and a drill, busy clocking the clocks back. No, it's really just 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Godzilla. Oh, thank you, Titan, for also gifting 5 memberships. Really, really appreciate it, mate. You rock. It's always good to see you guys.
How do you do that?
How do you?
Yeah, how do you gift memberships? I don't understand that.
At the bottom of the screen where you put a super chat in, same place.
Thank you.
Okay, I was just curious.
Thank you very much, guys, for the support on the show. You guys are really, really awesome. Really appreciate it. Oh yeah, you guys saw the members only video that was out the weekend. It got released today and out to everybody. The excuses I'm getting now. Oh, you were below the table. It's like I specifically show you referenced I'm above it all the time. Then it's like, oh,
and that zebra guy.
No, I even get people telling me again, your lighting was wrong, or when you zoomed in, you zoomed the whole thing back in. It's like,
Jeez.
And then they attack the Black Swan again. Refraction, showing they didn't listen to the whole QE presentation. Yeah. Crazy.
Now this looks like animation, and I'm very proud to know that it's actually real film. It's not.
She keeps repeating herself like, the more I'm going to repeat it, the more I'm going to believe it.
Not a video game. People are living there.
I know this looks like animation, but it's actually really real.
I love this video because it looks
Right.
like.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
I want to keep going. I'm going to go back to the medical world. Yeah. So if you go there and thank you, Mr. Flatzoid, please go there and undress. I am a doctor, honestly. Mr. Flatzoid, please bend over. I am a doctor, honestly. Relax, Mr. Flatzoid, please. I am a doctor. At what point are you asking me to say, nah, why do you keep telling me you are a doctor?
Exactly. It's going to make me feel uncomfortable, like you're trying to prove it to yourself that you're a doctor. It's not going to give me much confidence.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gemacho Wombat, for also gifting a membership. Really appreciate it, mate. You rock muchly. Thank you very much.
Flats, as much as I'm enjoying the stream, I am going to have to go because I'm so shattered.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
The Shankinator is going to go sleep.
Yeah,
PJ's failing before me. What
no,
the
no, I
hell?
couldn't believe it. I just looked at, I just scrolled down to see if I still see Michael, and I seen that it was on mute. And then all of a sudden it came
I'm
up.
here.
Michael's still here, man. No way.
I'm literally looking through squinted eyes, like.
Yeah, no, I've got to get up in the morning anyway. I've got to tidy up because she's coming tomorrow. Actually, so I've got
Cheers, PJ.
PJ.
Thanks for coming, mate.
Good night, guys. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hey, later, man.
Dude, everybody, Neil, Matt, Michael, bless, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good night.
Cheers, mate.
1-0, brother. 1-0.
Okay. Let's look at this real, not game, fake ISS. People living on it.
Yes, it's real. Come on now.
Okay, bye, Rachel. Also good to see you. Thank you for coming. Have an awesome evening sleep. Yeah. It's weird to see so much people going to bed now. Usually I'm the one saying, I have to go. Okay.
Yeah.
But it helped. I slept like an hour before the stream, so that helped a bit.
Like animation, it doesn't look real, but it is real.
People can watch all these ups and trickery by NASA
Wow.
and all these other.
Was that necessary for a documentary?
Yes, it is.
Wow, okay. Maybe it puts excitement.
Other space agencies, and all that goes out the window because they see a little light in the sky, and it's the ISS. Oh yeah, that's the ISS. That's all the proof they need, and everything else goes out the window.
The view will still be A-OK out there, and all you need to look for is a bright light in the sky that will be moving, and that'll be the space station.
I've seen the light go from horizon to horizon. There's many problems with that light. First, it's as bright as the sun. It's really bright. How is the ISS reflecting that light?
I think they're missing the point here. He's busy conceding the ISS when he's doing this argument. Is he not? I see it go from horizon to horizon. So you're saying it's literally going from a horizon up and down to another horizon, which is false. You're supposed to say we do see a light, but it's where's it claimed to be? That should be argument. Where's this claimed to be? And what is it claimed to be? That should be the argument. Not I see a bright
the only
light.
claim you can make is you see a light.
Exactly.
I think the end of the last segment with the point I agreed with, this appears to be a reiteration of that point, which is basically here's another methodology that they reinforce heliocentric model and space to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, to be fair, I've got no problem with the description. It's just very slow.
Yeah.
And not necessarily directly making the point as.
But this is the problem when I had with Witsit. Remember when he tried to come excommunicate us? That's what I was trying to explain to him. You guys are first giving the globe to them to try and tell them it's not a globe. You're giving them the ammunition. I don't understand why they can't see this. So you give them the globe, then you say, oh, but it's not a globe, while you're giving it to them.
There's a point to let the line loose, but it's not in a video like this. Like, it's not to decry it. It's just it means like I say, the focus of this video isn't flat Earth. It's debunking NASA, and I've not got to a flat Earth point yet.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We haven't got to a flat Earth, and I mean, the title is awesome. Level with me. You know, you think okay, it's gonna be something serious, and they open with space is fake. So you say, oh, this can be awesome. So they're gonna level with you and say why it's fake, but they're not giving you reasons why it's fake. They're just giving you reasons why you can't trust NASA.
Yeah, they've said that the space missions are fake, not
space.
is fake.
Yeah,
at best, yeah.
As bright as the sun back to me the whole way across. Is it made of mirrors? Is that mirror following me? Right? How would somebody 10 miles away see the same reflection? Because it can't reflect in all directions. It's going 17,500 miles an hour for 12 minutes. I could see it. So what is it? I was in communication with a NASA whistleblower, and he says that they have 5 B-2 bombers that they've remodified with some parts of them are transparent material with a thin metal struts that you really can't see. The bottom was overlaid.
And this is when you're going to get people saying evidence, please. because he's just made
Or
a
his
claim.
word against, yeah.
You see, the thing is now, he's just made us a claim. So now he's placed the burden onto him. So now, guess what? Since we're all flat earthers, the burden's placed onto all of us. Dave Wise says now it's a U-2 bomber, so therefore prove it to me. That's the issue I have with these guys.
Yeah. Dealing with the evidence there, could they not do that on a ball?
Exactly.
Just fake size and distance measurements and
Yeah.
speed in angular change in the sky, which is what's being created here.
Exactly.
You can do that on a ball. So again, you're exposing a conspiracy, which is the defrauding of the American taxpayer, fundamentally, but nothing to do with the nature of where we dwell upon.
Good point. Yeah, I mean, I've always said also it could be anything. It could just be a craft that's flying lower, which gives the angular size that you're told and the apparent speed that you're told. Doesn't mean it's at that high altitude and that actual size, because there's some things called parallax. So, I mean, yeah, but it's not debunking anything. It's just now him making a claim, and now it's got the burden onto him to try and prove this thing, and it's not actually debunking space in one way at all.
Made with LEDs to match the color of the sun, and they use them in their base. 2 of them are in Alaska, and I forget where the other ones are, and they take turns doing these flybys.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, there we go. Now he's on Brevard County Commission. There we go.
Just according to their own kind of technology statements, where do these bombers fly? Do they fly in space or in the?
I think they can only go to a maximum of 60,000 or 70,000 feet.
All right.
But I mean,
so we're not dealing again in any way with the concept of space.
No.
We're arguing whether or not these bombers do that, and whether that could match a supposed orbital pattern of the ISS.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like they're missing the whole plot.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Today I'd like to bring to your attention a potential fraud on an enormous scale happening in York County. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's...
Faciality, thank you very much for your $2 super chat, mate. Really appreciate this. John Zoid or Flatwick was excommunicated by Nitwit. Nitwit. Thank you. I just want to know how it can be excommunicated from True Earth if I was never part of it. How do you get...
It claims he never said it anyway.
Yeah. Well, we have it live, but yeah. We had it live. Thank you, Faciality, for your $2 super chat, John Zoid. Oh, Flatwick. And Ellemnet, fun show, Flats. Yeah, it is fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm really laughing. So thank you very much. You guys rock. Been a member for 7 months. Wow.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, yeah.
own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. This begs the obvious question. If they're really up there, why are they using Hollywood techniques to fake the footage? Are they in space or are they underwater? Now, what's really interesting is that they...
Interesting fact, guys. You know when they made the movie Gravity? You guys saw that with Sandra Bullock and whatever. Every time Sandra Bullock was in a spacesuit, it was all 3 CG. Only her face was real. So that's how they had the movement. So when they were moving the camera around the scene, it made Sandra Bullock look like Sandra was floating around in space. And then obviously sometimes they had her with that harness on in a tunnel of light, you know, with the images and whatever. But most 90% of the time, they had full CG. Just the face was real. Just interesting.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's actually very easy to fake this, guys. It's easy to take these cameras under the water, have their movements, and CG the backgrounds and everything in, so you have no bubbles, no harnesses, no scuba divers or whatever you want. Very easy to do.
They train for
But you need
spacewalks
a
in an
snorkel,
underwater.
though.
Sorry?
You need a snorkel.
And now they need a snorkel in space. Titan Long, thank you. Been a member for 4 months. How? While I'm going, never used one of these before. This is the great show. Thanks, Flats, panel and all. Yeah, I really agree. Thanks, guys. It's awesome to have such a good panel on. And such a great bunch of people watching. Really appreciate all the support,
Well,
guys.
Flats, I think of you highly. I think you're a great guy, and that's why I wanted to participate in what you're doing, because I think what you're doing is good. It's good for mankind that you're trying to expose people to truth rather than just have them keep on believing that they're, on a spinning ball in something that can't be, So kudos to you.
Thank you very much. I do try my best, guys. Like I said, I am transparent. I am who I am. And
Yep.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Pool with a complete ISS replica. Now, surely they aren't filming these spacewalks in an underwater pool and then editing
Don't
them
call me
to appear
Shirley.
they're in space, because that sure would be something, wouldn't it? I'm calling
Cheers, Titan. Have a good night, mate. Sleep well.
on the Brevard County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs NASA $3 billion per year to operate the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're faking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. It is our duty to expose and eliminate this fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. The NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just county commissioners. Even if what I'm saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county, as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference, alerting the public, state, and federal authorities to investigate further. You have the power to start the conversation. I look forward to the day that $3 billion annual budget is put towards our veterans, our homeless, maybe some of that mental health stuff the young lady just spoke about, and the revitalization of Brevard County.
Flat Earthers.
Yeah, that's a good point. He brought up some very good points.
So I want to say, up to now, that's the best part of the movie,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
I agree. Because it had a good point.
Yeah.
Why waste the money on it? I mean, like I was saying the other night, NASA, before they started doing this space nonsense, they were doing ocean. They were studying the ocean. And then all of a sudden, they just doesn't, oh no, let's move away from the ocean and let's go do space. You know what I mean? They haven't even explored anything of the ocean on our own Earth, but they want to go to a place that violates natural law. They can't show anything for it. I mean, it's taken them over 50 years, and they still can't send anybody that they could send someone with the processing power of a Nintendo. You understand? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just pay attention. We're paying attention to NASA. We're paying attention to SpaceX. Most people aren't, but yet they'll defend it. They'll defend it. They have no idea the Earth's supposed radius. They don't know, they have no idea how far the sun is supposed to be according to NASA, 93 million. They don't.
Speaking of the sun, did you guys see Michael Kahn's latest video with the sunspots?
Yes.
It's a killer.
Very interesting.
It's a killer if you guys understand what it means. It shows the moon, the sun rotates just like the moon. It turns this way, like a clock.
I got flat Earth maths trolling me.
Oh, Charles, he's an idiot. Sorry. Even Bob Nodell exposed him many years ago. He just, that guy is.
He's desperate.
My God. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an awesome video. Michael, if
Thank
you
you.
can, maybe put your link in for them to go and watch, because it's definitely well worth it.
No.
And
That's fun.
Yeah, and good music as well. Jamel, okay, one last time. Please read out loud. Okay. Flatzoid, look at the Babylon Decoded. Recommend this to all of you because you enjoyed watching this and it helped me to stay sane. So thank you. Yeah, Babylon Decoded. I think I did watch it at a stage or some of it. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah. Okay. Cheers, Jamal. Thank you for the message, mate. Hope
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's all about the structure of the government and how it's like bringing Babylon back into throne for the time for the Antichrist. If that's the one I remember watching. I'm not sure if that's the same one he's talking about though. Very interesting.
Like, how far is the sun? Like, I don't know, a couple million miles? I don't know. They have no idea, but they're defending it to the death. Once you start paying attention and have an open mind, pay attention.
He's right.
The following is officially footage from the NASA, SpaceX, and other space agencies. Everything you are about to watch was sold to the public as real and authentic. Please pay attention to what you are defending. Okay? Hey, CJ. Hi, Jamal. Thank you for coming, mate. I remember this. Okay, I'm just going to mute it for now quickly. Just, the music stuff. But yeah, this was sold as real. I remember this. Crazy. Okay, they don't have any wording. Remember this?
Is it from Star Fox?
Yeah, it's
on the N64.
What?
That was that so-called satellite that crashed into the comet, the asteroid, to see if they can avert its path, so they can have future ways to protect us from the incoming impacts.
Fake news.
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, let's see.
Important science to see whether it's worth preserving Bruce Willis for the future.
Kind of like they do with Walt Disney, right? Isn't he preserved right now, Walt Disney? Isn't he like somewhere in a cryogenic chamber?
I heard only his head.
Oh, his head. Wow. Okay.
Hence some of the Futurama stuff, I think.
How Freemason of him.
Wow. I also want to know, why would they need to do stop motion footage if they were where they've planned to be, guys? Because this is clearly stop motion. And
crap.
And how did he move his helmet? Remember, this is that same one. He moved his helmet. They couldn't move their helmets with those suits, and the whole helmet turned.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And this was I remember showing. Look how it goes through the moon. Check here. Look here.
Yeah.
There we go. Through. Oh yeah, and then obviously
Dude.
Elon Musk, Tesla.
You can't think that's real, folks. Anybody out there think it's real? I want to know, because you must have a low IQ. No offense, but
yeah. No, they're still fighting for Artemis 1 to be real.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, people going to the moon again.
but no baller can say this is real. This fake this car around. Come on, that doesn't look real.
Look at the tires. That's rubber with air in it. Okay?
Elon, yeah.
He's got a dashboard that's plastic.
Yeah.
He's got a windscreen that's glass.
Yeah.
He's got
it wasn't space ready.
He's got leather seats. He's got normal, ordinary metallic paint on.
He's got a CD player.
Ooh, never mind.
If anybody knows anything about outgassing and environmental structure issues with sublimation, you would understand it would not be holding like it's holding here at all. Even the paint would be coming off of those panels, guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't get it.
That's earlier on, we had that lady on that was with the really dodgy CGI saying, it's real. I am a doctor. I am a doctor. I am a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, this is where Elon stole it from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he comes out with, it's real because it looks so fake. I think
right.
And
he said, sorry, go on. Yeah, sorry.
Just, again, I am a doctor. Please relax, Mr. Flatzoid, and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, Elon said that they didn't do anything special to the car. It's just a car. That's all it is. There's no space ready, blah blah blah. So that's pretty weird to have him say that.
Yeah.
And then and look at that picture. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. A tiny bit. There's a picture of the Earth. You can't seriously say from that distance that's what Earth looks like, because land masses will look a lot smaller than that. Look at that. That landmass is so huge. From how high are they supposed to be? 50, 60 miles?
Yeah, but it keeps
There's
changing.
no way.
It keeps changing, and then they keep claiming, no, it's just the lens used, the focal length,
it is a lens, sure, okay.
That can, but the way it portrays it is a bit impossible to change
So this is what I'm saying.
drastically.
There are amateurs that use balloons or whatever they use, and they go up like 30, 40, 50,000, 60,000 feet. The land mass is smaller on their video than it is on a NASA video. And they're way up higher, allegedly. It's crazy.
They're saved by the law of space photography in most cases. So, which is the further away and the clearer view you've got, the more cloudy the ball Earth is. So you can't identify it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
It's just the law of space photography. It just happens. The instant you pull the camera out, continent's clouded. You can't really make everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that one on screen now. Look, what have you got? The edge of what is that? Africa? Is that South America?
It looks like
what you got?
Africa.
You got a
South
little
America.
Is that South America?
land. Yeah. Look how much cloud precludes you from making anything else out.
And look at also, people don't realize. Look at the size of the clouds compared to the continent. Okay.
Yeah.
This should not be.
Good point.
Look how dark that whole side of the continent is.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's a natural law, the law of space photography.
Adam. It's funny.
Well. Okay, now we're going to get Eddie Bravo talking again. Come on, Eddie Bravo.
Hey, look how low they are and how little cloud there is there.
Worst footage ever.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
But we do want to make sure that the American people understand that there's no need to panic. The president took this action, as I mentioned earlier, because the objects were indeed flying at lower elevation, and they were in civilian airspace, and we wanted to make sure that we protected that airspace. But again, we want to also make sure that the Americans are.
Yeah, and then you ask, why do they use balloons if they have satellites in space?
Right.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yes, sir, it is.
Do not panic during this time.
Wait, what? It's on a balloon? Why is there a satellite on a balloon? It's always been that way. Flat Earthers have been talking about this for a long time.
One thing that isn't really discussed in the mainstream is that NASA, of
Alright,
course we
good
know,
to see you,
spends
mate.
more money on helium than anyone else in the world, and actually just upped their most recent contract to hundreds of millions of dollars for helium. And they admittedly launched balloons bigger than 1 to 2 football fields. And it's significantly more efficient for transmission of data, for weather compilation of data. They basically have a fleet of balloons above you that are facilitating majority of the information that we utilize.
So why do you think NASA is the world's largest consumer of helium?
I can tell you. Because they like to talk funny in back offices.
Oh, police, it's me, NASA.
It's because they're a secret organization doing children's parties.
Adrenochrome parties.
Oh, wow. Yeah, adrenochrome. That's something else.
Yeah.
Oh, if you guys don't know what adrenochrome is, where have you been?
No,
good to see you. Yeah, that's sick.
It's like Coca-Cola for the elite.
But yeah, guys, it's very simple. I've been asking this for a long time. If space was real and you have satellites, why don't you have actual photos of actual satellites in space? You don't have any. Weird how that works. And why aren't we able to see any satellites traverse in front of the moon or the sun? I mean, not even from the ISS you see that. Why? Oh, I know, because space doesn't exist as a vacuum. What they're telling you is false.
It's all fake.
I mean, they launch thousands of balloons a day, guys. Thousands.
Yeah.
They have different hangars that they have different teams that launch constantly. And then say, but yo, I pick up GPS all the time with satellite. Yeah, I wonder why. Where do you think all your money goes?
Why would they send up balloons, these satellites, on balloons if they're in magical floating space, in the magical floating vacuum of space? They're showing us, they're telling you right now, they're telling us in plain sight, hey look, satellites are on balloons, they're not in magical space. Right here at this research center. Okay, just loud truck, yeah.
I know you're doing a documentary, but couldn't you have cut this out and just waited for the thing to go and just do it again? I mean, that's a
You'll see why. Hold on. Just keep
nice
rolling.
truck, though, by the way.
I know they're gonna make the okay.
Guys coming through.
Howdy.
What are you
I was
doing?
doing some filming. What?
Yep.
Oh, just anything we can see. We're just doing a documentary on the balloon launches and all the cool stuff.
Yeah, we're independent journalists.
Don't be filming me. Come on. Well, I mean, we're in public. There's no expectation of privacy. Well, we tried to call them. They said they weren't doing any tours. Yeah, they said we weren't doing any tours.
Hey, of course, you got to do your due diligence and make sure there ain't nobody out here potting. I get it.
Like Johnson Space Center, they have armed guards. Yeah, they will shoot you.
Yeah, they definitely operate.
Do not run up in the air.
Yeah,
like you're gonna
very
do
nice.
Okay. Nice.
That's why.
Yeah. But this happens a lot, though. Today, you don't really have free speech. As soon as you have a camera, how dare you invading my privacy on public ground?
Yeah.
But they allow
There's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of channels out there that out of the police that encounter that same attitude that you just displayed with your voice you're doing. Like, how dare you?
How dare you? You see?
Yep. Yep.
I think I watched too much David Wood. You see?
Is that bloke police or just
No,
some
he's, I think
Karen
he's
in a
security.
white van?
I think he's some.
Yeah, he's private security.
Yeah, security for what? The public highway or the private?
No,
land he
that
just
place
come
across
off?
the street.
So the private land he's just come off.
Yeah.
So he's just a
Right.
Karen in a van at this point. He doesn't have the type of security on public land, does he? He's just some bloke in a van.
But you know how it is.
Yeah, Karen's. It's called.
Yeah.
It's like, stop
basically.
filming me. How dare you film? And I came into your shot, so stop filming me.
I think he was more curious. He wasn't quite that bad, but he was
Trying to
kind
figure out
of.
what's
I'm
going
sure
on.
what you. Yeah, he's being nosy. That's for sure.
Yeah, because a lot of time you don't know if the people are sussing out the place, trying to get information to. I mean,
Or rob it.
yeah, you don't know. It's very. there's so much-
Often when you are doing a bank job or you're going to canvass a place, what you do is you go in front of their front gates and set up with a film crew. The best way to gain the information surreptitiously.
There you go.
Are
There you
you,
go.
are you talking out of experience here?
I couldn't possibly comment for fear of incrimination, could I?
That's what I do.
Well, it does help if your cameraman wears a balaclava, then they don't see anything, so it's fine.
No, don't do that. Then you're Al Qaeda.
Yeah, but you wear a pink one, then it's fine. Then you're all for love.
Then you're Rainbow Warrior casing the joint, hoping to set some animals free.
Warriors.
We're just infatuated with the satellites,
Yeah.
We didn't even know they existed. It's cool that they're all going up on balloons. We didn't even know. We were taught, they're just orbiting by themselves.
Or they're shot up with rockets.
Yeah, they're shot up with rockets. That's all.
It makes
is.
more
And I'm
sense
like,
on a balloon, so we're like, okay, well, this makes sense now.
Unless they got some top secret stuff I don't know about.
You don't know about any of these satellites without the balloons?
The idea that you would need some type of box that free falls in orbit around a ball is really just a fiction of imagination. That we don't need that at all. We don't utilize that.
Satellites are
Again, where is it violates the second law of thermodynamics? Where is it violating entropy? Come on.
That's too advanced. Come on now. Come on.
I mean,
again, if you believe in a locked atmosphere, then by presenting the fact that we don't bother with all the expense of sending stuff to put them in a geosynchronous orbit around a pole, we've just been teasing you a bit like we revealed to you with the Satelloons for Google over Africa, how that was a cheaper way of doing it. We've got to admit to you, it's still a ball, but we've been doing it on the cheap, because that's all you've got from that. Again, there's no addressment of anything other than that. This is a financial con. Got nothing to do with the nature of anything, because I say if you can allow a lockstep atmosphere on a spinning ball, then you can put a balloon up on that, can't you?
Exactly.
So it doesn't challenge your paradigm.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're not getting to the actual crux of the argument that actually debunks it. Yes, they're trying to make arguments that it could be, but it doesn't actually go against space. It just shows you calling NASA liars again. That's all they're doing.
It says, basically, at worst, you can't be asked to go to space. It's not that you can't, it's just you can't be asked. Look, you're doing it on the cheap.
Exactly.
Since the 50s, and they've always been on balloons. They just lied about putting them in space. There's no evidence at all of satellites in space.
They would have to have a propulsion system. Even if you believe that the Earth is a ball, you must also believe that satellites cannot propel themselves without a source to thrust. Okay? We know that they don't have engines on them. What's making them go around?
Okay. This is when the Globers will come and say, don't you know what gravity is? It's called free fall. That's what they believe. So you're already in the paradigm of saying it's moving around a globe. So not only are they showing ignorance here, they are literally playing into the hands of the globies. Because they're going to say, it's falling. That's what orbiting is. So you don't even know what orbiting is. That's
but that's always... Sorry, Flatzoid. That's always been our argument with the way they argue. You're leaving too many doors open. Shut that door with entropy law. And that rhymes, too.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, instead of just saying, oh, what's propelling it in space? Why can't it go to space? Full stop.
They don't make sense. Then you find out NASA owns 98% of the helium. Then you find out all these satellites that crash have balloons attached to them. Then you can deduce they actually float these satellites up with balloons. It's that simple. If all these satellites are moving 17,500 miles an hour, some are moving this way, some are moving that way, it's common sense. There's 50,000 of them. They're supposed to hit each other eventually, but none of them hit each other. Come on, guys. Wake up. There's no satellites. There's no proof of them.
Wow.
The only proof we have are things floating on balloons.
Arthur C. Clarke in the 50s wrote a book theorizing about satellites falling around on Earth in an endless fall. Shortly after, we all of a sudden had satellites falling around the Earth. Now think about it. The Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. It's orbiting in an elliptical orbit, speeding up and slowing down at 66,000 miles an hour. It's chasing the sun in another curved orbit.
Again, none of this is necessary.
Exactly. You know what? They said, I heard Whitsitt say they want to advance the argument because they don't want to be stuck talking about angles. This is 2015 nonsense I'm hearing. This was argued in 2015, 2014, out to the Black Swan. Once the Black Swan came out, the game changed.
Exactly. I mean, they're giving the globe to them.
And it's third one they've done as well.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, Whitsitt was the same guy that told me the Black Swan is redundant.
there it goes right there. It's redundant, but he's going to argue about rockets and space and how this can't move or that can't happen. How about the whole region is fake? And that's the end.
I mean, It's like going to, let's say, Lord of the Rings to Mordor and saying, Mordor doesn't exist, but let's go and fight in Mordor.
Yeah. Same thing like Narnia, Nathan's Narnia illustration. Fits perfect.
And when
It's true.
And the actual argument should be, Mordor doesn't exist because it's Lord of the Rings. It's just a fictional movie based on a book. There we go. We've ended the whole argument. Just like space can't exist because it violates the second law of thermodynamics. Full stop. The globe has no curve because of the black swan. Full stop.
Earth is flat because that's how celestial navigation works.
Full stop. Exactly. It's crazy. But no, they rather want to jump into Narnia, as you say, and fight out of Narnia.
And we somehow have
Thinking about it, it's the same as going to prison. Going to a Taiwanese prison and saying, please arrest me so I can try and escape.
That's a good one. I like that.
Stationary satellites. That's a satellite that stays above the same plot of land. So it's mimicking the spin, it's mimicking the orbit, it's speeding up and slowing down and staying over that same plot of land, and it's just falling in an ever-ending fall. That makes absolutely no sense.
And now it's openly accepted that they're on balloons, but they're making it seem like it's a new thing. And this is the new way we're gonna launch satellites.
That's true, Taylor. They don't want to give credit to anybody other than themselves. It's a
Give credit.
It's
there.
an ego thing. Yeah, it's ego.
I'll give Dave Wise credit. That was a fantastic explanation as to what they claim. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the second point I've agreed with? Admittedly, the first point was politics, with the Justin Harvey speaking to those people. But that I thought was good. That was pro. It's important to understand what they're claiming.
Hold on, you're saying it's okay to give them orbits and then explain how it's not orbits?
No,
Am I
it's
hearing
okay.
correctly?
I'm saying it's okay to
Holy
give
shit.
a really good explanation of what they claim is happening in orbital mechanics, and that was a really good description, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's on balloons and it's cheaper and it's just better. Like, we don't need them space ones no more. You know, people are starting to figure it out. That's why they're going back to balloons.
And majority of all the transmissions we use for our cell phones or quote-unquote satellite TV are all ground towers. They all send transmissions from the ground tower to tower, admittedly at high elevations. And of course we have underground and undersea cables that make up 99.9% of all transmission. So this just a facade in people's mind that you have little metal boxes flying around giving you all of your data. None of that is real.
Oh my God, I'm calling my brother. That is
That's
freaking beautiful.
contradictory, that is, isn't it? Because we've just claimed we've got metal boxes flying around all the time on balloons, providing that data. We can't then say we've not.
And did you hear what Eddie Bravo said as well? He said we're going back to balloons because, you know what I mean? So what's he saying? Like they're using satellites in space.
Exactly,
Now
Michael.
they're going back to balloons.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they conceded now space. Satellites in space when he said that.
We've not addressed space in the slightest. We've just said, right, that they're not using space for telecommunications. That's all we've had evidence of. And I can agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, if you put it
Not a
that way.
flat Earth topic, though.
Nah.
Per se. If you understand what I mean, it's we seem to be skirting around the subject. Yeah, in a very eloquent and nicely presented way. Maybe it's building to a crescendo.
We'll see.
But we're halfway, dude. I'm gonna have to go to bed as well.
Yeah, it's that's what I said. We can maybe go another 20 minutes. But then I have to go to bed. I also got to get up at 5 for work. So
yeah,
I personally don't like this video at all. I think it sucks.
I agree.
I think there's way better ways to knock down the globe and defeat it. It's already defeated. I just don't like the argument style. I think it's a waste of time.
I agree
Like
with
it's
you.
going backwards.
I think this is very. It's on a level of is this
entertainment.
really what they've had after 8 years? You know, like, what? Come on, where have you been?
That's my
Yeah.
point. And Eddie Bravo, I'm sorry, he supposedly watches Flat Earth debate, and this is what you got? Unless they shut him down and told him what he was allowed to say.
Yeah, he's not in
But
charge of the video,
try to,
so.
I wouldn't try to tell Eddie Bravo what he could or could not say.
So yeah, I just don't see if you've been in this argument for 8 years, and you're literally still arguing 2014 arguments. It's not getting anywhere.
My brother-in-law still like protests the moon landing and defends it. It's the sort of thing I'd show to him so far in what I've seen, and because it's nicely presented and it's calmly done, and it's addressing points that might make him ask himself a question. But I think for the level we're at, it's very frustrating because it's exceptionally slow, and as we're critiquing, it's not getting to the nitty gritty of the substance that it's proof. But it might be capturing some space heads out there because there's lots of spacey stuff that we're talking about, and we're not and it's quite clever because it's not destroying it instantly.
Wait a second, Adam. So you're saying your brother-in-law? I'm sure that you explained gas pressure without containment to him already, right? So you're saying that's going to go right over his head, and we got to talk about these things that they're talking about?
I'm saying he wouldn't talk to me about the things that we would like to, but you might get him to watch something like this surreptitiously and start some of the cogs rolling. That's what I'm saying, because it's nicely done, but it's not dealing with the stuff. It's like dealing if you can get somebody like, after all the years that his brother-in-law has been a flat earther and he's still at that point, and this is my sister's husband, not my wife's.
Remember, we are advanced heliocentrists. That's why we don't find this video to be very amusing, because it's kind of boring to us.
I don't subscribe to that.
It's because we're hoping for some Declaration of Independence type effect from people that speak. Yeah, and you shouldn't expect that. Because they are where they are. Maybe this is their understanding right now. They know it to be false. But
Can I get a little spoiler alert?
Go on, Michael.
Well, yeah, they're skating around flat Earth and that, Adam, but they're definitely sticking the Van de Graaff generator stuff in.
For sure.
Yep.
Am I getting particles accelerated towards me?
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, I think let's do another maybe.
Beam me up, Scotty.
I think let's do another 10 minutes or something, and then we do closing statements. We can always do part 2 on Wednesday, so
yeah,
we're halfway there anyway. Oh, wow.
Only if at the end we could discuss structural support.
Where's Brian?
They're still at it, aren't they?
Okay, there you have it. Artemis wow, it's flying right now.
Whether it's the ISS or the rocket launch, the second someone sees it with their own eyes, they think it's real.
This is freaking amazing. Oh, there it is. What the heck happened?
They don't even know what the going on.
The reason that you can always find a video of a rocket from NASA taking off and then slowly making a U-shaped arc is not because it's going around the ball and going to the other side or going out.
This guy talking about U-shaped arc. It's not a U-shaped arc. U is opposite. It's N. No, this way. Just had to point that out. Not a U. U goes that way.
Space, it's because shortly after these rockets that are funded by your tax dollars take off, they only have a certain amount of time before they crash back to the Earth because they run out of fuel. It's all made up. So what really happens is they launch them near the ocean in Texas or in Florida. They will never launch a rocket from the middle of the country. It won't make it to the ocean. It'll crash on dry land. Okay? So NASA has to launch rockets from Texas in Florida because it's right by the water.
Yeah, because they also say it's the best strategic points for their away from the population, as you can say, for safety and for weather. That's their. I mean, they've already got excuses for their locations. So, to me, this is a very weak argument, actually.
They're not arguments or proofs, are they? They're the points of ponderance.
Yeah, but still,
You get me? I'm not decrying it. I'm just saying it's the only category you can put it in because it has no substance in of itself.
Yeah.
I look where we launch from and where we aim to. Doesn't that could just be presupposed as a safety issue? You know, it doesn't in of itself indict anything directly. Not like what are the antecedent for gas pressure? That's quite an indictment.
So this guy is explaining something that maybe to explain why they're really launching them next to the water rather than what NASA says. I mean, I get it. I like the explanation. It makes sense to me because they are launching rockets into space because space doesn't exist as they say it does. So obviously they're going somewhere. They're just going in an arc, upside down U, right? And then boom, and they're done. So obviously it makes sense to me logically. Yeah, it would go in the ocean because it's space garbage, as they call it. You know.
Yeah, Point Nemo. Think about it.
Yeah.
Why would they? Why is there Point Nemo? Oh, a very specific reason, because it's one of the most far out places that people aren't going to be able to reach to actually go to the so-called space graveyard. Yeah, it's sad.
Hold on, no. So they created a whole mythology about the Bermuda Triangle, so that way people. I think that was more of a distraction from the rockets going into the water. That's my opinion about it. I'm not saying that's a scientific opinion, but that's just my theory about the whole thing and why they did all that.
Yeah, because it's actually interesting when the Bermuda Triangle argument actually started coming to be.
I think it was an article in the paper in the 70s, actually, was the first mention of it. Even though they were saying that it goes way back beyond to World War II, and I'm like, yeah, but there's nothing to mention about that until the 70s. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of strange, I thought.
Yep, it's nice to pre-plan history. You know what I mean? But that's what they do to the globe as well. Like Aristophanes and stuff never existed, but we just make saying the person did exist. No documentation, but the person existed.
But that's the opposite. This is what's called it's kind of intertextuality. So you're going to look at, in terms of interweaving of excuses to validate a cause. Yeah. So if the best way to validate something historically is to have different sources of from different places that match, agree on something, and that's you don't get scientific proof in history. That's kind of a really good historical proof. So if you wanted to forge something from a control point of view, then intertextuality is a good way of validating their conspiracy. So they set up the Bermuda Triangle, then they set up NASA on Florida, and that's where they aim the rockets. These are all areas that lead you down a rabbit hole of no proof and nothing, but kind of feed your ego, or feed your thought process that you're onto something. That's where they want you.
Yeah, but like I said, that's where with the Bermuda Triangle as well, they created the history. Yeah. Just like they created the history of the globe. Just Aristophanes and stuff never existed. There's no evidence of documentation. The person ever existed, ever did what they claimed, blah, 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 but they would still push it as fact because they created the history for it.
Yeah, that's a good case of no intertextuality. So when we look at Eratosthenes, there is only this one quote. There's no other reference sources that allow us to draw the same conclusion as that initial quote. That's why it's slightly dubious. So historically, it's not supported.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying here. If you can then sell paradigms, which is what they're doing here. Oh, you can't go in that area. That's just, it supports a conspiracy narrative, because even though you don't know what's going on, you've got compounding evidence from different
Mystery.
sources, that provide a mystery to the same thing, or plausibility answer. And once again, that's great conspiracy journalism. Yeah, but it's got nothing to do. None of it affects the nature of the Earth. If I
in the 80s,
fake space travel, which I've not denied yet, then these are the ways I could do it. Still, it still can all happen on a ball. Sorry, no.
No, you're fine, man. No, in the 80s, as a kid growing up in the 80s, I used to watch these mystery shows on TV, you know, like, and when they'll have the Bermuda Triangle showing this reenactment of a guy in World War II, you know, dealing with mysterious objects floating around them, and I was like, cool, wow, you know, I was really into that stuff as a kid. I really liked it, you know. So that makes sense, right? Because then you grow up with that mystery in your head, and then it's just kind of stays with you, and I think it kind of feeds the aura of NASA, the aura of the NASA being a valid, you know, business, so to speak,
Yeah,
doing
like
brave
dinosaurs
things.
in space, right?
Right,
As a
right,
kid,
yeah.
Dinosaurs in space.
You mean pigs? You mean pigs in space? Pigs in space. You know.
Yeah, I was totally into dinosaurs in space when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think we're gonna maybe close it off here. We did get halfway, and then Wednesday I'll do part 2 then, because I do need to sleep. It is 2 a.m. I'm tired.
You should always end it on pigs in space, because that is legendary. Pigs in space. Yeah. But that shows you, even on the Muppet Show, right?
Yep.
Where you can't get they forced it in just as a little bit of programming. Accept as a possibility as well.
Yeah, for sure.
We aren't fully deprogrammed from all the junk that was fed to us earlier in life, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
We're still fighting through that.
Okay, so you guys gonna give closing arguments to what we just saw?
Hold on, before you do that, I got a question, a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Let's just say, the way we were taught what the world is in school, side by side with Flat Earth, what do you think the outcome would be as adults?
Different.
I think so. I think as you get older and older, you know the nature of reality, and you would start looking at this other nonsense. How the hell do they think it's on a spinning water ball? That don't make no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they shunned Flat Earth, made people laugh at it, and that's the end. Game over to them.
As you get older, you don't care anymore about people laughing at you. Like, oh, screw you. You know, but at first you care. When you're in the 30s, you might care because you're trying to, you know, get a family going and get a good career going. But as you get like 52, like me, it's like, I don't care anymore. I know what's going on. I don't need to worry about you laughing at me, you dumb spear levers. But I'll go first in this closing. I just want to thank you, Flatzoid, for having me on the panel, and Adam. I chatted with you on Skype in the past, recently, probably December, in regards to my fiance or girlfriend having cancer. You and I had a little minor discussion, so I appreciated your input there about that. And I listened to you for years with the Iron Realm Media, you know, and Neil, dude, you're awesome, man. I love your accent. You're the best part of New York. New York's a liberal cesspool, but you are what makes it good, I think. People like you. So keep it up, man, over there. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And the rest of you I know from our chat. So I appreciate all you guys, and I hope to be there tomorrow if I can.
Wednesday,
helping out in any way I can. So Wednesday, okay.
Yeah, because
excellent, but even better.
Tuesdays I take it's my time off that I spend with my wife and family. So it's Wednesday again now.
Oh. I appreciate all of you.
So
I
wait,
find
you
this
go
very
all the way back.
Hmm?
You go all the way back to Iron Realm Media with the Adam Meakin. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a while.
Yeah, I used to, He was. I mean, after he left, I lost interest in that channel. To be honest.
Yeah, I
So,
unsubscribed from everything, even Glowbusters.
Yeah, but it was.
yeah. Oh, I still.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
I'm actually a mod on Glowbusters and Jaronism. And by the way, I guess we'll say I'm their friend because Jaronism lives near me. Jaron lives near me. So I like all you guys. I don't take sides, but I do see the arguments that you make against them. And I try not to be too critical because I respect Jaron because I wish he would have not said things that he
I
said
got
about
no respect.
Nathan.
Once he says that about
I
Nathan,
know.
I got no respect. But
Yeah,
hold
but
on, let me
that's-
finish because
okay.
it seems that I'm more offended than Nathan because Nathan don't care anymore.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunate. That's what I say because I like you all. I like that we're all trying to figure this thing out, and I get we all have our own opinions, and I get Nathan's taking it because Nathan's helped me a lot over the years with my thinking. It's so much more clearer with everything than it used to be when I first entered this realm of flat Earth. Oh wow, So I do appreciate what he's done for me, and as well as you panel guys too on this. That's why I want to be a panel guy because I want to help out somebody that's trying to figure things out, And
Well, you're always welcome on my panel, mate.
I appreciate it. Well, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for the kind words.
Don't go. I'll round up next if I can. Then on
Awesome,
that. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
I was going to give him a compliment. The best rebuttal I've heard for a long time was how the hell, you can't stick a 70-year-old pensioner on a roller coaster. The health and safety doesn't allow it. So when I asked about William Shatner on the blue, whatever it is, Origin, penile in space.
Don't forget the black feather. It's got symbolism to it.
Yeah. Well, there is that. But that's the best answer I've ever heard. How did he do it? Diversity. Because that is the level of acceptance that we're supposed to do. Just cartel to certain levels of newspeak. That's the world we're in. Yeah. So that respect, I thought that was the funniest thing I heard in a long time. I'll share it with Arwen. And on that, yeah. And other than that, yeah. Final question. How far did we get into the video?
Halfway.
Well, thank you all. That's a 50% further than I would have got.
So yeah, Wednesday we'll do part 2 though. Hopefully,
I've sat through that twice in the same day.
Oh yeah,
and you're still awake.
Yeah, I'm still. That's probably why I can't sleep.
Was it so shocking?
Yeah. I'm not outraged at anything though, at all, and just like, come on.
Yeah, I'm just. How can I say? I'm let down by the arguments. It's disappointing because of the caliber of arguments they could bring up. They're bringing, let's put it this way, they're bringing a diaper party to a teenage rave. You understand?
Maybe it has to be that way, Flatzoid. Maybe that's just the way it is, and that's how it's going to be. Right? I'm expecting them to get on the level that we're at, and maybe it's just not going to be. That's just going to be their debunking style, and that's it. What are you going to do?
I said at the beginning, I don't care if we don't. As long as we're trying to expose stuff, then whatever level it's at, it doesn't matter. As long as we're not pimping a new paradigm.
Yeah.
Without proof. And sadly, I think the second half, from what Michael's been saying, is going to disappoint me. That's my only fear for the second half. But like I said, I've not problems with the first.
Okay. Well, it went better than I thought it'd go, so.
I could be hypercritical, though. We could, but, like, there's not anything of disagreement. As Neil said, it's not like the word structure. I've not seen anything where I need to disagree with it. Yeah. So, I just want them to like kind of drill the point home. What is the point here? All we've done so far is, and it's not a bad thing in a long court case, is we've shown that the plaintiff is a liar. currently, if you see what I mean. So, and that's why Michael's foretelling of the second half is slightly disappointing. I'll stop rambling there.
No, you're right, Adam. Like, I mean, fair dues to them. They're sharing some truths, but they just don't go into it in detail enough. I mean, they could be killing. They could be like, like killing space totally, like, but they're sort of allowing it in a fashion.
Yeah.
It's good conspiracy journalism, but it's got bugger all to do with flat Earth so far.
Yeah.
And that's not derogatory, it's just an appraisal. It's just got nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with flat Earth so far.
At all. But yeah, what can we say? But
I can say good night, gentlemen.
Night, Neil.
Yeah, I'm also going to say
Night,
good
Neil.
night. Was very awesome having you guys. I laughed a lot, so I enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's kept me awake.
And the votes didn't go too bad. 125 votes. Was the docu any good? Yes, 27%. No, 58%. And in between, 15%. So I think it went quite well. So yeah, I'm going to say night to everybody. I'm going to see you guys all tomorrow evening. On Wednesday evening, I mean, for part 2. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the super chats and members and PayPal and stuff. You guys rock. Thank you for sharing the show and liking and just being here. So yeah, many, many blessings. May the pressure be with you.